baby turtles once did. You know what I'm saying? We are. John says we're learning, and we're adapting. Let me tell you, when we get fully adapted, that will be scary. Um, of course, future streams will go smoother than this. Um, Eric tried to open one too many images, and it crashed the computer, and that's a lesson to learn about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And that is what's going on.
That is the case, Mom.
That is the case, Mom. Um, so for anybody new sticking around or new showing up here in a little bit, we are testing out. This is like kind of our pregame show slot, even though we've gone way over that. That would be 8 to 8:30 is what we're thinking. At least in the current structure, that could change. Um, but we're trying to work on that. Then we would like launch into the episode. Let's see, Eric, tech update, buddy. John's here. He says I sounded quieter, and he says there you go. So that might be that I sound better again. I don't quite know. Am I still quiet, John? Let me know if I'm still too quiet. And yeah.
What?
You're in, Derek.
Oh, I don't know if they can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Let Ryan know if you can hear me, because I'm not paying attention to the screen right now. They should.
You hear? Okay, John says I sound better again. Once we're getting through some different stuff. One thing I'd like to test, Eric, would be the screen where we try to get the chat on screen. We can test that one in a minute.
Yeah, we can do that. But I wanted to know if he can hear both. Okay, thank you, John. Interesting. Okay, because the scene that you're seeing it just has. Okay, that's good to know. All right. Okay, let's see. I think I've fixed myself. Let's see if I can try this other thing. Nope, that's not working anymore either. Oh, goodness. Guys, thank you so much for all of you who have stuck around. We sincerely appreciate it. Yeah, this is you told him that my computer can handle OBS, Pro Tools, Discord, everything else, but you ask it to open 6 JPEGs at the same time, and it just completely kills itself.
It won't do it.
It just won't. It's done. Yeah. So all right. So everyone can hear us. John, can you hear us like good? Like, oh hey Jake.
Yeah, Jake's here. Get out of the box.
Oh snap. My cat actually did that to me the other night, and it scared the shit out of me because we're packing, and so I had a box that I didn't know that it could get into, and I'm just like, I heard something, and I'm like, what? And all of a sudden, Lily just like jumps out of it, and I'm like, that was the cutest and most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. But let's see, it's all good, looking good, baby. Okay, cool, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna try and pop this out now. This is one of the main things that we were wanting to do, because we couldn't do this with our private chat or our private stream. It wouldn't let me. Well, also I'm a Luddite a little bit. I'm like kind of, what is it, fat thumbing or fat fingering, or there's some phrases about people who can't.
Your private time is all you.
Oh, sorry. That's true. Well, yeah. Like one way or another, I'm not as tech savvy as I used to be. So trying to figure this out has been very enlightening, but also a nightmare. I constantly feel like I'm trying to make things work that shouldn't, but I guess that's kind of what the whole internet is.
Jake picked up on me. It's like, about the fat fingers.
Let's
I think
see.
you sell yourself short. I think we still have the thing. Oh man, Friar Greg's here. Audio's kind of soft.
Goodness.
Okay, so that's so I mean, I know this is dorky, but I've got like a page of notes that I'm taking. So we need to work on audio output to make sure it's even. There's things that we can get that would help us monitor that a little better. So we'll be working on that.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Let me see. Can
I'm cutting out. Am I cutting out to you? Eric?
Me? Yes. This is the audio problem that I was talking about before.
Oh, it's
we had tried to figure this out, but then my dumbass didn't. We've been messing around with all kinds of settings, and so I forgot. We did a whole video. We were going to look at it, and then all the audio wasn't there. So, yeah, it's been. Yeah. All right, so Ryan, I'm going to send you this. But we're going to have to redo this whole thing. It's not going to work this way. But I'm going to send it to you so you can see. Let's see. That's how tiny it is, the way that it's formatted. So we'll have to think of a different way to format it and make it there's a
I don't think the key so you might want to make a note on this, or I will that doesn't so they're looking at it and they can see it pretty good on their end probably. We can't see it on our end because our screens are smaller because they're in our monitor. They can full screen it or do it on their phone. We need to do like a Stream Elements thing or something. We need that up on OBS so we can see it better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definite like key function I was talking about with like the wraparound software for OBS is that like you don't care about what's in the middle there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for them to see, right? And we care about like if you have it in OBS, you can see it all like big and like on your screen.
And like I said, like I've seen people do it differently. I mean, everyone does it differently. There's people that do it like this, and there's people that do it like you're talking about too. So I mean, so you can just go. I'm trying to think of the not politically correct, but a very family-friendly way of saying go fornicate yourself, I think is what I was trying to say. So yeah. You don't like. You know how I had to bend those pipes with my bare hands, like dead ass, like. At the courthouse, just bending, just pipes after pipes. It's a labor of love.
How does bringing up Stream Elements make me need to go fornicate myself?
I was just saying because I think you said nobody cares about the center thing or like seeing their stuff on the screen.
I said that streamers don't care about the center thing.
Wait, so am I a streamer?
About that.
I'm a streamer.
Yep. Now you are.
Now I am. Okay, yeah. See, this is all new territory to me. I don't know. I'm just needlessly aggressive. I'm sorry. I'm also taking out my frustrations on you. I apologize.
Damn. So John just said that he suspects that you did my audio choppiness on purpose so that I don't interrupt you as much. And Friar Greg says he agrees with John and that you're sus.
And I'm a what?
You're sus.
Oh, I'm sus. Okay. Yeah.
You're sus.
If I knew how I did it, then yeah, but I have no idea how I did it. Maybe I did it subconsciously. I don't know.
Experiencing this before, and still looking into it.
Mm-hmm.
But you said it comes and goes, right? Normally, am I still choppy now?
The last comes and goes. Am I still choppy now? Was clean, and then it'll come back and it's very pickle.
Yes, Jake. This is our OnlyFans. We're just doing it on YouTube and waiting until we get yanked.
Right. Exactly.
Literally and figuratively, because it's also an OnlyFans.
Oh my goodness.
So both those things. We hope that one happens before the other.
Of course. Yeah. There's an order of operations we prefer.
Saying? We hope that one yank happens before the other yank, but we just don't. We have no idea.
Lordy day.
That's
so.
Friar Greg says he's having PTSD from the early episodes as producer. Dude, Greg would lay on your floor just drunk.
Yeah.
And like he was like watching episodes of the X-Files or something. I can't remember.
he could not be any less interested than
and he'd have like a ball. He'd have like a bottle of like Fireball.
Oh yeah.
And he would just like come out and be like, so the thing is, and he'd like just instantly correct us. And he brought us Naked Combat. So
he did.
That's what he did. Let's see here. M says we need more gain on Ryan and less on Easy. Jeremy Brooks says your hair is majestic, Eric.
Oh, he's majestic. He's one of my favorite guitar players and singers.
Tasty.
And I miss him greatly. I will just leave it at that.
M says I'm about 6 dB low. I appreciate the informed audio.
Speaking our language. Thanks, M.
Audio language, yes.
Okay, I made an adjustment.
So we're gonna do it.
So my fader was actually in line with yours, but now I think my input should be matching yours.
Okay, so M, tell us how many dBs we're off now.
Yeah, I'm still a little loud. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, this thing is
all about Eric.
It is. It's the easy show. Yeah, this thing's a nightmare to try to like practice for live streaming before you actually get to do it, and then it's also a nightmare when you actually do it. So yeah, this is woo. But I'm glad y'all are here with us.
We've learned some stuff.
Oh God. Like my brain is swelling from like all the information.
It is so awesome that you guys are here. I'm so happy that you guys are here, like helping us out. Like I'm just like all day today. All day today was just like one thing after another. Like I had a super busy day at work. The whole time this like live stream and stuff's like in the back of my head, and I'm just like, okay, like we got to do it. It's on, you know. And then my day was just like more and more like punishing and more like pain in the ass, and I'm like, I just got to get through it. I just got to get through it. But I got home in this like, you know, that state where like you're how do I put this and not make it sound like I have major heart disease, because I don't. Where like your heart has been like kind of pounding with like anxiety. If you suffer with anxiety, you know this feeling. Where it feels like your heart's just been through a lot. Like you've had like some mini panic attacks. Your heart's kind of been pumping harder because you're distressed.
Yeah.
You come home and your heart's not pounding anymore, or you don't feel any anxiety, but you feel like that weird, like worn out feeling in your chest, kind of where you're kind of like. I've been doing like a lot of heavy breathing, and of course at work I'm wearing a mask, so you're just kind of laboring more, you know.
Right.
And all that's just melted off me. That's how I know that I'm major heart disease. It melted off. You know what I'm saying? It's just gone. Is that
straight? Is that how the doctors see it?
That's how the doctors see it. M says that's a good balance.
Okay, cool.
Master level could he says master could come up some. So because we don't have a master control, how do I put this? Because we don't have a master control, can you turn our faders collectively up at the same ratio?
I believe
until we're masters a little louder, and then we can work on some mastering plugins and stuff on the backside.
So
boost us.
So you were dimed out, but you didn't go up that much further. If I go up any louder, then it's like exponentially. Like I'm still
we'll see if
I have to go back down to match yours still.
Okay,
but yeah,
definitely I have that as a note to work on that. So we know that these levels are as high as we can get, and if that's still too quiet and you're having to like really crank your phone up and it's a little crazy, then we can always like work on a audio plugin on our side to like boost that volume. Because we care about the audio.
We do, and I'm dude. I'm terrified right now to click on anything. Like, yeah, because
it's working. Like it's working right now.
Well, it's working right now, but I still don't have half of the stuff up that I'm supposed to have up for the show that I had already up. So I'm
all right. We'll chat a little more and hang out, and you start pulling that up. And guys, if the stream goes down because he's working on it, then we'll be right back. And we really, once again, like I can't even honestly state how much it means to me that you guys are like literally like following all these live videos, like as they die. You're like, oh god, look, they're back, and you keep refreshing. Like I super appreciate that.
Right.
That's all right. So John says my mic needs to come a little closer. That works for me. I can work with that.
Yeah. And rip us apart.
That sound good.
Oh goodness! Like, well, yeah, no. Like, tell us, like, if we look weird, like, if our lighting's weird, or if you don't like our facial
my
hair.
frame is like my head is too high in the frame. Like Eric needs to.
Yours is too high because mine's like way higher than yours.
The top of my dome Darth Vader head is.
You know why? Because I'm looking at the other screen. My bad. I'm looking at the.
You keep your eyes on the prize.
Eyes on the prize. Here, let's try this and see if this works.
Yeah. If they cut Darth Vader's head off.
There we go. How's that? Is that better?
That's a lot better. That's a lot better. I guess I need to get pulled down in the other screen.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten to adjust that screen yet, so I'm doing that as we speak.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so John says that the chat in the middle is a little small, so we'll have to like maybe reformat that window a little bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking we might. Well, see, now that we're in it, it's like my ideas make a lot more sense. Or, well, in my head they do. I could see it being like us on the bottom and have it spread out a little bit more on the top, and maybe that would make it look bigger. I don't know. We have options we can mess with, but
oh, for sure.
But yeah, that's just kind of that's what all this is trying to figure it out.
Everyone loves your transitions.
Oh, really?
Both like, yep, son. Oh my god.
I have another one.
Those are super dope. Those are super dope. You have
Oh,
another one.
Well, I do, but
Is X going to give it to him, or are you going to save that for later?
No, he's got an overdose, didn't he? Oh my goodness.
That's messed up,
messed
dude.
up.
That like dead
That
ass.
is,
That like
that is.
Eric. That's too soon, bro. Like,
Is it
I know
too
we joke
soon?
about we joke about too soon. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like where we make a joke about like Kurt Cobain killed too soon. You know, like we make that joke, but like
Mhm.
that's a little. I mean,
I'll wait a
Man X
week.
is still hanging.
I'll wait a week and give it to you.
Well,
So, hey, I want to tease something. This might be really loud. I don't think it will be. Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous now because I don't want to blow y'all out. So I made something else and I want to test it. So just
okay. So if you're on headphones, then like lift those boys a tad or turn your volume down a tad. If you're on a speaker and you're hiding from your boss,
Yeah.
make sure to turn us down.
yeah, because I don't want to blow you out. So I'm gonna try this.
Yeah,
This is
don't-
something
don't-
new that we're working on.
I'll show you guys the traditional in the audio engineering, audio recording world, when someone's like, "Hey man, I'm about to plug this in," or "Hey dude, watch out," and you do the bark lift. You don't want to get barked at, so you do this number.
Okay.
So do your thing, Eric.
All right, here we
You
go.
lift a little. Oh my god, I hit my light. Oh god,
Oh, and there's no.
we're doing
now,
it live.
Could y'all hear that at all? I know y'all can see it. Could you hear that? Ryan, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. Could you hear?
yeah. We're
the
good.
video?
I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear the stinger at all.
Goodness. Oh,
M
this
says
is-
no audio. Jake says no audio.
Okay, but y'all saw it.
John-
Okay, that's cool.
John says, when Ryan gets excited, he's crystal clear. So do your job harder, Eric.
So I just need to be louder and more animated. Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So, we appreciate that. So yeah, no audio
so
on the
that
graphic.
didn't work. Like the like.
Oh, Jake wonders if it's DMX, dude.
Oh no, he's giving it to me
Dude.
now.
You went too soon on it.
I did. The ghost of
And
DMX.
now, well, he's not. I mean, he's not dead, right?
I mean,
He's not dead, right?
I don't
He's-
know.
I mean, okay.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, literally, that might be like a Terry Schiavo question. So, I mean, that might warrant debate.
Yes.
It's really sad.
It
And I am
is.
not making fun of that. That is like
No,
really
that's horrible.
crappy.
But like,
And that's awful.
he has a
but
song that says he's gonna give it to me, and I don't know. I just like to. I don't know. Whatever.
I think what chat's saying is he gave it to you, man. He messed up your stinger.
That is exactly what happened.
M says he's still on life support. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, that's rough. I don't want him to die, but I mean,
No,
I don't want anyone to
I want
die.
him to come back to give it to you. Obviously.
Goodness.
Oh man, M says they're doing the test on him today.
Ooh.
God. Hate to see it. We got to pull this out. All right, so let's new drink now.
Well, oh, good. Now let's do. Oh my lord. Goodness gracious.
I can't wait till like somebody, like gives us like a boatload of money. Like one day, some weird Jigsaw-esque character who has more money than sense.
Yeah.
And he's like, here is $500,000. We're like, oh damn, we'll do whatever you want. And he's like, new drink.
Right.
Somebody's death, LOL. And they're like, so you get on the show and you're all like, it's kind of like it sounds like a Batman villain thing where you're like sweating and you're like, hi, this is Ryan Guy, and you're listening to Turtle Soup. So Eric,
Yes.
how about we got a new drink on, and it'd be something terrible. It'd be
Oh.
something. It wouldn't even be someone's death. It would be something even worse, and that's some Jigsaw shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Like,
Sorry,
I'm
can
trying
we
to,
curse
I'm trying
in
to
the pregame?
think. But, huh?
I'm like, sorry. Can we curse in the pregame? I feel like I don't know.
Eh,
We're still setting all these rules. We're still trying to make sure we don't get booted off YouTube.
yeah.
So, okay. So you sound like you want to do something before I went off on this huge rant about
About-
me and about the Jigsaw situation with New Drink. So what?
So okay, so I'm confused. I still don't know why the audio didn't work on that. That's a nightmare. So I'm gonna see if this works. So this shouldn't have any audio, but here we go. Let's see if that works. I don't. Oh, I might have to show it again to see if my automatic scene. Oh, I don't know if I want to mess with that tonight because that's gonna be a mess too. Okay, so there was that, and then we have this. Make sure that's working. Now, old dad, you can see that, right?
I can see it, yeah.
Okay. And
I think everybody knows this screen from earlier.
yes, we did see that. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to make sure that was still
We've already
working.
seen this pitch.
Okay. And then let's see. I don't know why my other transition isn't working either, but oh well. Let's see here. Let's try this one and make sure this is looking good. Oh.
John likes those graphics. John Klein's like, yo, top shelf.
Oh, thanks.
Up there with the good stuff.
The good stuff. Goodness. What do y'all recognize?
Oh, cool. This is the
Huh?
I was saying, oh, cool, the TV screen.
Yeah. I don't have the here, I'll try to get that up while we're
Oh no. Now when we opened up images before,
that was using the Windows
got it.
thing. This is using the C display. So that was working fine earlier. Not a problem. But everything else was not cooperating.
So Jake just said random, but I was thinking of Ryan talking about his brother Shane's album cover with him in a devil costume stoking the fires of hell. I was laughing a lot, dude. So I whenever Shane and I get together, there's like it's like RNG. There's like a 1% chance that will come up, because it comes up more than you think. And we both giggle like uncontrollably like that, dude. There's something about like seeing him on the cover, like physically stoking the fires of hell, and we laugh so damn hard. And it's been like 10 years that joke's been a thing, and we laugh as hard like today as we laughed at it then. It's a giggle fest. We just giggle out. Oh damn, we're walking it in. So all right, so what you're seeing right now, guys, is our TV screen thing that we're gonna do whenever we cover TV shows or anything visual, like a video game maybe or something. And Eric's just getting that spotted up and making sure that's good. And then basically what we do is we kind of like do kind of a slideshow kind of thing. And we're both like down there in the little speaker section, and we let you see images. So we go to this whenever we talk about like like yeah, so Carter looks like Savage Dragon Big Bird. You gotta check this out, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, so if you want the visual element of the podcast, it gives you an incentive to look at it or watch it besides seeing our faces on it. Yes. So, yeah. And goodness.
I love that I love that cap of the title, man. I mean, to give the Turtles credit, it was very cinematic this episode, the way that they brought that. They start with Dreg, and he's like, Earthlings, we have, and then it's like Carter the Enforcer. It felt very Star Wars. It's very Star Wars open.
The only thing that would have made it better is if the title screen was like burning plastic behind some plexiglass, like at the beginning of the thing. Especially with this shot.
Don't.
So
don't threaten me with a good time.
Oh, I know.
Okay, so we got some comments on that. So we got Jake loving it. He says, it's amazing. Neil is here. Hello, Neil.
Hey, Neil.
He says, that's fantastic. One of the first things I thought about when he started listening to the show. So because that's the follow through. Like that's one thing we really wanted to do with this. So that's awesome. And John asks if we can make our faces take up more space to the right. So if there's a way we could like get more of me and you to be a little bigger, like maybe that speaker dead space is a little like not that maybe we couldn't have oh god, I just hit the Windows button, Jesus. Not that
is that better? Did I do it? Did I bigger?
Gabba, hey Gabba. Like a pinhead. No, when I say pinhead, I'm referencing the Ramones character Pinhead, not calling anyone from a freak show that name, because that is wrong.
But yeah, we can sorry. I didn't mean to leave you hanging.
No. So we can probably work that out, because we have the tall rectangulars from the talking segments that we could probably transplant to like step up.
We can. I just hate it because it might lose a little bit of the TV aesthetic, but you're not wrong for wanting to.
Well, maybe yeah. I think we were. Yeah, I'll make a note on that. I think we can work on that.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah. So there's that.
Well, one thing we could do and make it harder on you is actually weirdly like superimpose our faces on a glass-like reflection on the screen, so it's like we're watching it.
Oh yeah,
That'd be obnoxious.
that would be. I'm trying to think of how to. I'm sure it can be done, obviously, but
Oh, it can be. I'm literally joking.
well, see, now you're making me think about it. Like I'm like now it's like a challenge. It's like now I want to do it. Just even if we don't use
Yeah,
it.
no, well, no. The reason it's a joke is because it'd be awful because you'd see our like weird faces all stretched and like semi-translucent, like over the thing you're looking at. You'd be like, "The
Yeah.
fuck is this?" Like, it'd be bad.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. Let's see. I'm just testing out
here.
all of our different assets. So there's that.
Yeah.
Do any of y'all remember this? Like I remember this screen, not with Leonardo up there, of course, but
No.
but this screen, I remember this one, and then I remember like when WTOG, for those of us who live in Florida, us Floridians, like that channel would go off like after Arsenio or whatever. And
deadass. Like it'd be like midnight. You're out
yeah.
for a long time when we were little.
Oh yeah. And then but then I think everyone remembers the color bars down at the bottom right over here now. But that looks like it's working. Okay.
Yep.
And then I'm going to try this one more time. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the WTOG also ran like an American flag one for a long time.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that.
Like later on, like a moving American flag, which was weird. And then on the weekends, you knew you were up late when WTOG went off the air, because it would be test pattern, but they would do the midnight movie and stuff. So if you saw the test pattern on like Saturday night or Friday night,
right,
you were up way too damn late. I still got no audio on that stinger.
I don't either. It was working all afternoon before we went live.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Well, I got it in me notes.
So
let's see here. John says he remembers the color bars more.
Yeah.
Greg, so Fire Greg asks, will you be going to TV screen and back to split screen while covering the episode, or staying on TV screen during the whole section talking about the episode? We've kind of talked about that back and forth.
It depends on
really
if we get on a tangent. More than likely, in our tests that we've been running, our dry runs, I haven't been going back and forth, but doesn't mean we can't. I mean, as you can see, I'm very affluent in clicking buttons and transitioning very easily. So yeah.
John says I'm sounding louder, which is cool. Francisco confirms no audio on the stinger.
Okay. So we got a note on that.
Francisco just says yes, more color bars. So we could just do that over our faces, probably.
That's probably better. Anyway, we'll just get face paint and just paint the color bars on us.
Oh my god!
And then we can have a makeup channel of us doing it, and then we'll get like millions.
We're gonna need like some full time Patreon money then, because we have to quit our jobs to we have to start the makeup application process 2 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? It's like a whole thing.
It is
production. You hire a director and all that stuff.
So let me test.
Let's see here. So Francisco's. Did we already get the drink of the night, gents?
The drink of the night. I'm drinking coffee. I don't know if that's what he means.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's the thing people do.
I'm drinking coffee with International Delights sweet cream, which is like an ice cream creamer. That was ice cream, and I couldn't think of the word creamer. That's the kind of quality you come to Turtle Soup for. And then I've also got the creme de la creme of Waters Zephyr Hills, which
straight
is
from Eric's. There's a rebottle of Eric's tap water.
Actually, no. This is
that's fresh.
Listen. There you go.
I like how I put my headphone toward you.
Me. I was like gonna let that
would
go.
help me hear it. Very performative.
But yeah, we went to audio school. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I know. Leaning faster makes the video game go faster.
It does.
Classic. I am drinking. You Corner Stream regulars know about that sweet tea. You know it's sweet tea in this glass. When you see the metal tube of deliciousness, you know that's a stainless steel glass full of that sweet tea. And then as the backup run, I've got 2 cans of Aldi knockoff soda.
Mm,
It's a double barrel just waiting back there for me.
goodness. Double barrel.
Fire truck killing you for killing the environment. It says get a reusable water bottle, bro.
Oh man. Well,
Because you got to.
yeah, you blew me up on that. Yeah. But I'm having I
Okay,
can't
so
go ahead. Never mind. I was going to tell a stupid story, but that's okay.
you can tell a stupid story. You probably need to get the podcast.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Started here in a little bit.
Oh, I was just going to say that yeah, I normally do refill, but we have a Zephyr Hills thing at work, like the water jug container thing.
Mhm.
And I was in there as one of my coworkers comes in, and she has a giant jug, and I'm like, oh god, okay, because I'm very cautious and conscious of not putting anything that touches my lips on something that someone else is gonna have to use. She puts her whole bottle on the faucet part, and I'm like and I had my water bottle in my hand, so I was already dedicated. Like, she knew that I was going to get water. Thankfully, there was 2 faucets. Like, there was I don't know what the difference is. I assumed that like some of them are hot and some of them are filtered. Maybe, I don't even know. But at this point, I'm like,
so what you might see is like some may be cold and some might be tepid, like room temperature. That's usually a thing.
oh yeah.
You don't
Well,
like cold water.
I drink room temperature water all the time. It don't bother me. So that's probably why I didn't notice a difference, really. But yeah, I went with the other one, but I was like horrified. I'm like especially during COVID, I'm like, really? Like, you're this
Yeah.
like out of touch? Like, I mean,
No, well, that's
don't
just
know.
diagnostic to start, bro. Like,
Yeah.
like COVID or not, man. Like before COVID, like you would have probably had the same like reaction to that.
Oh,
Which I don't blame you.
100%. I guess it's just I'm a
Um,
little bit more like hyper aware of it because of
sure,
COVID.
sure. Yeah. It's kind of like I had to do. I mean, Preston and I talk all the time. We're both germaphobes, and when COVID started, we had to like we were before COVID, we were on this like manageable place
Yeah.
where like we were literally like trying not to be like Howard Hughes, like we knew we could be, like eventually we'd be like all crazy. So when you're a germaphobe like that, you have to like do things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like I think I talked about it on the show before. Like you have to like be like, you know what? I just handled those papers, and I opened up the filing cabinet and I opened the door, and now my lunch is ready, and I'm gonna eat without washing my hands. Like
Yeah.
you have to actually like tell yourself to do it, because if you don't, like you'll just be washing your hands like, okay, with 99 strokes every time because I have to, it becomes like insane.
Well, that's
So
the
I
one thing
understand
I'm
that.
excited about getting the vaccine. I think I'm doing it tomorrow. And
State website. How the hell do you get that appointment? Come on
um,
now.
I can't give away all my secrets.
Wow.
But
Wow. Shit. No, you're right.
if I tell you everything, there's no fun.
No, you're
But
right.
like
Yeah,
my
I didn't expect for you to literally answer that on the internet live.
right,
I was
yeah.
kind of like bullshit comeback, but yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I just can't wait to get it and be done with it, so I don't have to wash my hands for 30 seconds anymore. Golly.
All right. Well, that sounds great. John says he's getting his first shot. Already gotten that second shot on the 23rd. Ooh.
Ooh.
Earlier, and I don't know if it was in this stream. Francisco says I'm getting choppy. Is that coming through on your end?
Yes, you're choppy.
All right. Well, this is gonna be a thing. I have a whole story about. I'm getting new internet. And I was hoping that would solve some of these issues, but it turns out that the access box, where they have to run new cables from the access box, like from the point into my home, because Verizon, back when they ran fiber, ripped out everything standard from the wall of my house, like, and like literally like pissed on it afterwards. Like that's what they did. The guy came out. He's like, from this is standard coax. He's like, wow. Yeah, I'm gonna throw a new lineup here and everything, do a new box, and I'm like, okay, cool, let's do it.
That's ridiculous.
Access point in my neighbor's backyard with a fence and a dog. Neighbor wasn't home. Guy goes, I can't go in there. I'm like, I mean, okay. He's like, call back.
That's
like,
obnoxious.
cool.
Like oh goodness.
So now I have to go coordinate with my neighbor
Mm-hmm.
for he's available
Right.
for me to get. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So yeah, I feel like Father Preston would like.
Lose it. He'd Hulk out. He'd go get the Hulk hands and just start punching everything.
I'm so mad that I sound choppy. Everyone's saying I sound choppy. Greg says I sound like a. Oh. M wants me to say exterminate. So I'll do that for everybody. Okay,
I found the
so
chat.
we can work on that. We can work on that.
Yeah, I lost the chat for a while, so now I found it. Okay, cool. But
cool. Is there anything else that you wanted to test out on the live before we take a little we're gonna take a small bathroom break, kind of get ourselves together, and we're gonna start the show in a minute.
Yeah. Well, I just want to so be honest with us, guys. Like if things look weird, like if the anything that we've done, if our lighting looks weird, if like we sound weird, and we're gonna go through the show, like we're gonna run through it, and we're gonna probably ignore y'all like for the duration of the show and act like y'all aren't there. But
yeah, because this is we are gonna actually so we're gonna be recording on Pro Tools and clip that and use that for the audio podcast. So
right, so the video
making a lot of comments about oh look, he said this, he said that.
Right. We might come back afterwards. We're not sure yet what we're gonna do, like the post game show, because we got a lot of plans for that. In the future. But a lot of this is us getting our feet wet. And again, thank you for being here and helping us. We sincerely appreciate it. But let us know. Be brutally honest with us, because we're doing it for y'all. And if we can make it better in any way, like if our mics are weird, like if it's if this looks dumb, like here, then this bothers y'all, let us know. That doesn't mean we're actually gonna listen to it necessarily, but we are gonna. By listen to it, I mean doesn't mean
we'll make an amalgamation of all the advice and
right. It's not like if you're the one person that said you hated that I hate that Eric wears a shirt during the show, then that doesn't mean that I'm gonna be topless the whole time. But
this is for you guys. So so Brandon's here and he says Ryan's audio is getting worse. Sorry. And then Greg's here and he says I suggest make up for the host.
Okay.
Well,
come over here and do it, Friar Greg. So
also, M, I have to add this, even though I'm probably mega choppy. M says maybe have Danny go over there and pretend to be your neighbor for a can of that Aldi's goodness. And I gotta tell you, M, that's my spirit season. I'm about that. I feel like that's right where I'm at, and that's actually a perfect use for Danny. But I have not seen him in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Danny will wrangle that dog. The dude that I had was great. He goes, I mean, a long time ago we used to just hop the fence because we've got, we've got rights to do it. And I'm like, I'm not happy because I'm seeing the complexion of this now. I'm seeing where this is going to lead my internet journey, and I know it's going to be shit. I'm like, okay, okay. What about back in the day, bro? And he's like, oh, we used to just do it, but then with the dogs, people got
with the dogs,
and he looks over the fence. I love this. It's my favorite part. He looks over the fence and he goes, where'd that dog go? And I'm like, I don't know. He goes, I don't know, man. And he kind of starts to make a look at the box, kind of look at where there's no dog. He goes, I don't know. Maybe he went back inside. Almost like he was going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at him and I was like, I didn't say this out loud. This does not pass the Preston test. But in my head, I was like, do you think that dog opened a damned door and went inside to do something and would not come back out? Number one, how the hell that dog go inside?
I mean, there's doggy doors.
I was just about to say this.
Okay.
Without a doggy door, which to my knowledge are 2 ways. He'll be right back out here. But he had a minute. I'm like, you think he just went inside? You think the dog's like, nothing's backyard bullshit. I'm going to watch the game. You know what I mean? And you can sneak in, and he can't get. Is it a one-way door anyway?
Goodness,
that's the addendum to I can't get in your backyard.
All right. Well, let's see. I was just listening. Oh goodness, John.
So my audio,
where he broke our window. Yeah, there's no telling what Danny's gonna do. So Danny's got no scruples. So, but we haven't seen him in a minute. So.
Jake says that dog opened the door like a raptor in Jurassic Park, with the little
clever girl.
That door handle. Clever girl. That's the best transition. So my kids love that transition. By the way, they howled with laughter at that.
Yeah.
When they're talking unless they learn how to open doors, you see that hand grab that door and they're like, that's amazing. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the promise of the premise.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So oh god, I feel like there was something else. Oh yeah,
Thanks
but anyway,
already.
once again, thanks for like doing this, guys. Once again, yeah, throw literally like we will dissect this comment thread, because I'm making notes, but like we'll be doing the show and we'll be a little bit more kind of like going. You know what I'm saying? For the podcast use.
Mm-hmm.
So fill it up. Anything you see or notice or hear or think could be better or different or you don't like or whatever, we will dissect this whole thread once we get done. And then we will go back through it. And oh, that's right. I was going to say, obviously, my audio won't be as choppy as it is now on the audio podcast. If the chop gets to you a little bit, and you're like, "Oh, well, that's how my episode of Turtle Soup sounds," it will be clear on the podcast because we're recording from a different source. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this fixed.
So, all right. Well, I'm gonna put the starting soon screen up, so it'll be about 5 minutes, give or take, and we'll be back. So
Yeah,
yeah.
just hang out and chat, and we'll be back in a minute. or like if you've ever heard of it and never played it and you want to watch people play it and it's like hilarious, then definitely check out his Twitch channel because he's on there most nights streaming the game. So check it out and you can hear my boy Brow on there too. He's usually on there. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I played a few matches and I was just overwhelmed kind of. So I was like,
Yeah.
hey guys, cool. Hey, I gotta bounce, but like thanks a lot for having me. I'm gonna get out. And I got off the stream and I just like collapsed on the couch and like all the pressure of like being on a stream with people and like I just all like washed over me. But it was a crazy night. But it was a lot of fun. So I did that. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Whenever I have this little spare time, I'm trying to escape from killers.
Oh, that's always a good thing to do.
It's a lot
Escape
of fun.
from them.
Yeah,
Or you could be one. I guess it's all subjective.
You can play as a killer, but I'm not even gonna open that because every killer has their own like play style and like, it's in depth. It's not like it's a skin and you run around and stab people. It's like
Right.
they have different abilities and stuff, so it gets very it's very in depth and people really like metagame that. There's like a competitive scene and I'm like, okay, like I'm literally just running around trying to turn on generators and not get killed. That's what I'm doing. That's what I've been up to. That's my so basically on my life. We have a ton of emails.
Oh,
I'm just
goodness.
gonna say it. We have so many emails. Would you like to get to it?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Alrighty, let's see here. So our first one comes from Duncan Gale. So I'm gonna try to get through this. It's a long email, but it's got a lot of good stuff in there.
Excellent. Lay it on me.
So he says, what's up, Ryan and Easy? I first discovered your podcast 3 years ago and been slowly but steadily working my way through reading, watching, and playing along all the way. Finally became a patron back in August and sent an email to you guys that was prompted by some minor problems with a couple of links to the homework zone. And a couple of days ago, I finally got to episode 222, Return of the Mech, and was pleasantly surprised that you guys took the time to thank me and read part of my email on air. I was genuinely touched. I felt like Michelangelo seeing April in her mutant form in TMNT Adventure Special number 11.
That's a throwback.
Let's just say my shell started to feel a little tight. I'm amazed at how comprehensive you guys have been in the journey. You've turned me on to a few things I was completely unaware of, such as the manga. I'm in the middle of this episode right now. Awesome stuff. However, there is one thing you guys missed that I really think would be worth your time and the listeners' time to go back to. Turtle Soup Volume 2, a 4-issue color miniseries that Mirage put out in late 1991, early 92. Now, you guys actually did review one story from this series all the way back in episode 111, Turtle Brew I'm Into You. Then he parenthesizes and says, yes, I actually took the time to look that up. I'm a professor and hold a PhD, so I try to be precise with my citation.
Well, we appreciate that very much.
Actually helps us in what we're doing. But there's a lot more there, and I think you guys really enjoy a lot of the content in that series. Can you make a note on that, Eric?
Yeah.
I think we talked about it in passing as doing it a bag of tricks, but it may have fallen off the radar.
It's been in the bag of tricks. For those who are new to the show, I'm still in the process of moving, so I have a drawer filled with like everything that y'all have sent us, like mailed us and stuff. And somebody had mailed us. And forgive me, it's been a day, but we do have the issues physically.
Okay.
So I think the reason we didn't do it is because I had to figure out a way to get them to you, or we haven't read them yet, and it's been a minute. So one thing led to another. But we do have them. So again, shout out to whoever sent them to us, and but we do have them, and so But I am writing it down again as well. So thank you for that, Duncan.
So it says also on the subject of stuff you guys missed for 1994. There's also the direct-to-video releases Turtle Tunes and We Wish You a Turtle Christmas.
Oh,
which you understand why? I think I understand why you skipped over those. However, if anyone can make those entertaining, it's you guys. So I feel like We Wish You a Turtle Christmas is definitely on our radar.
Oh, both of those are. If you're not
okay, got it.
Yeah,
okay.
If you're not cut up on the new homework zone, and if you want to get the new homework zone, go over to Patreon and join. And
no homework.
Yeah, what did I say?
You said new
homework.
Like
I was probably trying to say the newest.
No, there's no homework.
Yeah, no homework. There's no homework at all. But the newest episode of the No Homework Zone, or one of the two, because we recorded two of them together. We talk about what we're going to be covering for.
A little bit.
Oh yeah, It's for a future episode. We'll just leave it at that. And and those two are among the runnings. So if you're a patron, you can go let us know what you want to hear. Like if you want us, what you want us to review for an upcoming episode. So just go check out the No Homework Zone. And if you're having any trouble getting a hold of it, or you can't, like you don't know where it is or whatever, send us an email, turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. And if I don't get back to you, just bombard me on Facebook. I don't care, because just annoy me. Like you'll never be annoying. Like we love you guys.
Your email, if you email the hotline, your email will go no longer than 1 week until it's received. I scan the email every week for emails read on the show, so it will be received.
That's true. I'm still getting used to the idea that we're doing these weekly now. So yeah,
but it will be scooped up if you feed us. Little baby bird.
Oh my goodness!
I'll come up there and grab that thing.
We will. But yes, those are on our radar.
So all right. So finishing out here. So he says, I'm going to be completely caught up with your podcast fairly soon, which is bittersweet. No longer having a huge stack of Turtle Soup episodes to get through just won't feel the same, but I'll certainly be revisiting a lot of the classic content, including those delightful boners.
Oh, my Lord. Well, we're glad you appreciate it. And we appreciate you. So thank you very much.
We do. I'm going to sign off now, but to keep this email as brief as possible. Once again, I'll share with you guys a story about my meeting with a major figure involved with the TMNT Adventures comic.
Ooh.
My personal favorite Turtles property, and I'm glad to hear you guys have mad respect for it as well. Dude,
absolutely.
So when he gets caught up, he's going to tell us the story.
Yes.
See that all about that. So he says, Elstime Duncan Gale, he is from Upland, California. He is the Inland Empire correspondent as well.
Nice.
And P.S. A couple of mutant henchmen took over my Facebook account and posted something on the group page on Easter. Actually turned out to be kind of funny, but man, I gotta stay vigilant with that stuff. So if you saw his post on the Facebook group, then that was your boy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Duncan, for all that. That's awesome. Getting caught up with the podcast with any podcast is a little bittersweet.
Yeah.
Now we're week, so you won't have to wait longer than a week. You know what I'm saying? And you can watch it live on YouTube if you like. Coming up here pretty soon. So awesome. So thanks a lot again, Duncan, as well. So this is a weird email. I'm just going to preface it like that.
Okay.
It simply reads, "Thank you, fathers, for naming me Nickelodeon from and Eric's future son. Yes, I'll be seeing you in 3 years, 4 months, and 5 days." So this was sent on April 5th.
What?
If you're curious. Yes. From a Gorilla Mail site that is absolutely blocked up. That just gives no identification as to who this person is.
Oh, that's very bizarre.
So I guess that's something from that's those future internet files coming out to get us.
Oh my Lord!
We have a child and we name it Nickelodeon, which I feel is a thing.
I
wonder what the middle name will be, but maybe we haven't written. Maybe the sands of time have not firmed up on like
what that's going to be. Yeah,
I
can see that.
Would we go hyphenated? Would we go Crosby guy, Nickelodeon guy, or would we like choose one?
Or Grosby?
Good question.
Like just a amalgamation of them both. I tried to convince my wife to do that with Mick Crosby, but she didn't want to. She didn't sign off on that.
I still every once in a while will call her Shannon McCrosby.
I think it's hilarious.
Great.
Yeah.
Our last email is from our boy Paul Calicote, and my dang old shelves. My dang old shelves. That's the subject line.
Ooh, okay.
He says, "What up, daddies? Your San Antonio correspondent Paul Calicote coming at you. As for turtle stuff happening over here, not much is going on. So this is a correspondent report, and let me tell you, I'm here for it, and I love it. We need correspondents to be checking in. I love it every time it happens. So if you're a correspondent, you're kind of hanging loose, send us a status report. You know what I'm saying? We're the conch shell or whatever it is, and we need the correspondents to sound back. So I'm all about that.
Oh yeah.
Not much going on here. But the Red Time Force Power Ranger is coming to Heroes and Fantasies, which is my local comic shop. So that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah. That is neat.
See here, I lost some place. Oh yeah. I hope things are going well for y'all. But anyway, let's get down to my question.
Okay.
I posted a pic of my new shelves that I put up for my naked turtle figurines. You know what I'm saying? I said figures. I apologize. So it doesn't get crossed up. They're not figurines. Come on now. Well, I have on top right in the middle Mikey and Leah. They seem to me like they're leaning forward a little bit, and I can't really see the names. Can I get some suggestions and a dims the rules on shelf placement? Thank you. Got a ride, else time. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's see here. So some suggestions and some like dims the rules on like shelf placement. Now, I've got some experience with shelf placement. You probably have more, especially when it comes to figures. So I'm gonna let you lead this dance. I'm just gonna follow your feet and try to step on them.
Okay. Goodness. Well. See, I have major analysis paralysis about shelf placement. Like I would have my figures like in their boxes, like not putting them up because I can't decide on what I want to do, because I know as soon as I do it, I'll want to do something different, and it's extremely asinine and trying to like get overcome that. And so I know the struggle is very real, and for those of you who don't collect or don't display things, you have no idea. Like it seems very petty, but it's an ordeal. Well,
He's
first thing,
I said, ladies and gentlemen, he's stalling for time.
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. So, the most important thing is you want to think about weight. So, weight, proportionate, like weight / size. So, if you have Juggernaut from like the Marvel Select figures, he's massive. He's way bigger than anything that Marvel Legends has put out.
That's a beefy kid.
So, he's going to be heavy, but he's also going to be bulkier. So you don't want him up front because he's going to block everybody else. So you got to think about placement in that regard. So like on that plane. So you want to have your characters like that. Also, you might want to think about so that's rule number 1, I'd say. Rule number 2, consider your audience too. Like, is this for you? Like, do you have a lot of people coming over? If you do, and you want to like show them that, you might want to have your titular characters displayed prominently so that they can, because generally people who have collections, they want other people to look at them and get kind of interested possibly, and then foster some sort of interest there. So that would circumvent any kind of confusion, or would help to at least. So definitely considering placing titular characters up front. Then and then the third thing I'm going to throw in there real quick, just because, I don't know, we can switch the numbers around later if we need to. But one thing that I've had massive problems with, well, I say massive, in the sense that expensive figures have been ruined because I didn't like factor this in. Make sure that if you're mixing toys from different companies, and or even, I'd say like the NECA, I can't think of it right now if they're different, if they're that different or not. It's been a day, but the movie turtles, I think that the paint and their skin is different than the. I mean, obviously it's different because it looks like the movie.
So they react
right to anything else. So if you're gonna display them, make sure that they are stable, and but that if they fall or if they like lean, that they're not touching something that's of a different kind of texture. Because I had a SH, well, it was a D Arts Mega Man figure that's, I think, a Street Fighter figure or something touched his chest and like was like on my shelf, like he had, or my photo booth or whatever, he had fallen over. And yeah, that melted. The two plastics melted, and Mega Man's all battle damaged now, if you will. And so yeah, so and now that I'm moving, I don't want to I didn't keep all of my boxes. So I gotta put all my loose toys in bins. So I've had to get like tons of cookie sheets, and
kind of like separate them.
Yeah, and layer it.
Wow.
And so it's been horrible. Like, it's been a nightmare. But but on the shelf, like, that's the last thing you want is, oh, your figures fell over. Okay. And then you see, oh, they were different mixed medias or whatever, and it's like, great, now that's a problem. So there's that. So there's 3. What do you think? Do you have any like suggestions even outside of toys maybe?
And once again, just in my head, once again, almost like a person not dealing with this issue, but maybe approaching it with a fresh mind. Maybe a few of the things I say might be like, well, that's not normally done, but that okay.
Okay.
I'll definitely be thinking about like a graduation of shelf size. Um, keeping like the deeper shelf, like going from deepest at the bottom to maybe like thinnest at the top, right? Like or the shallowest. Does that make any
Mm.
sense? Imagine like 3 shelves. The bottom one is 10 inches deep. The middle one is like 8 inches deep, and the top one's like 6 inches deep. Like
Okay.
a graduation kind of thing. Because sometimes you have things that like figures or whatever that like take up like a lot of room,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't want to waste all that. Like have every shelf maybe like the same depth because
Mm-hmm.
like you would waste a lot of that room with smaller figures. They'd be standing there and be like, okay, like if I put another figure behind it, you can't see it. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'd be thinking that way. Also, one big thing I would be thinking about, because he talks about the idea that it seems like they're kind of leaning down, and it's like, well, how do I really see the names, or how do I whatever? Is my mind would bring me to a place of like calculating my height and my viewing angle versus the average person's height and viewing angle
Mm-hmm.
before I set the shelves. So the idea is like, so from my height, and I'm 6'3", so I'm taller than a lot of people.
Yeah.
So if I was doing this for like in my house for people to like come over, my idea was that I was going to display it for other people.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be thinking, okay, I'm 6'3", so these shelves could all be here, and at these viewing angles, I can see everything. But what about like say our friend Lex, who's like super short? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so I would kind of try to get down her level and be like, wait a minute, if you're shorter than that, then you can't see anything.
Right.
And I would find an average between the two, where an average height person, and if you're an average height person, then this works out. I'd be
Mm-hmm.
worried about viewing angles like that. That's what would be in my head. Like I'd be like, okay, so like, where do I put these shelves so that like your average person can see everything?
Yeah, there's a middle ground you got to find with like what's important to you and what's not, and then sometimes
Yeah,
you're not going to please everybody. That's the thing.
for
But
sure.
that is important to try to figure that out. Like I personally made, so I use the IKEA Detofs. I think they're Detofs is what they're called. The basically the 12 by 12
The glass.
rectangle glass. Yeah,
Yes.
shelves, and I love them. They're great. But I also made my own tiered 1 inch foam kind of
Yes.
stands.
Yeah. Like a riser, like a graduation.
Right. Yeah.
That's also
And it was a lot of fun to
for
make them, but at the same time, it's like, do you make them the same size, like you were saying, and this and that? So it could be a thing, but that's one thing.
I think you covered a lot of it. I think that the big thing, at least for me, it seems like he was
Mhm.
kind of going from like the saying yeah, that he put them up. They seem to be leaning a little forward and stuff, so he's having a little bit of a problem. That's the other thing, and I don't know how far this gets into it, but when you're actually hanging the shelves,
Mhm.
do you want that shelf to be dead level, or do you want it to have a bit of a rake back?
I've thought about that,
You
and
know what I mean?
sometimes, yeah, I give it a little bit of a rake back if I'm putting up that kind of shelf or whatever. I
Yeah.
try to give it a little bit back because it's so another collector tip. This is not necessary. This is like an addendum. This is not really like in the dims the rules section of this. You
Okay.
want to keep something that's like a ruler or something that's very thin but sturdy, especially if you have your figures behind a glass shelf, because if they fall forward and you open that shelf, they're going to all tumble down. So if you
Yeah.
can squeeze something thin into that, like just barely cracking it,
Kind of hold them off the glass so you can open
precisely.
it.
That's a pro tip right there. So that was
Yeah.
for free. Um,
That's for free.
but yeah. So tipping it back might be another thing. So you can add that to the dims the rules. Consider offsetting the levelness of the shelf, and that
Yeah.
might help alleviate that. And then what is that, 4? So probably 5.
Mhm.
Look into sticky tack. There's a lot of sticky tack that people have used to put like on the figures just a little bit, and then that keeps them it keeps them from falling a lot more than it
A
does
little sticky
leaning.
tack goes a long way. I use a ton of sticky tack with like
Mhm.
whenever I'm painting miniatures, I'm on it.
Yeah.
It's always everywhere. And a little like it's not even a pea size. I mean, it's so much smaller than it. Like a chiclet size
Mhm.
piece of Sticky Tack can grip. The biggest thing about that is I found, because I grip, I have miniatures which are 32 millimeter. They're way smaller than action figures. A little bit to grip. The thing about the grip is you definitely have to one advice with Sticky Tack to make sure. I mean, if you do this, Sticky Tack will stay stuck to something forever. Before you apply it, get your little piece and like stretch it out really good, and mash it around in your hands and keep mixing it until it's warm. That like where you can feel like there's friction, like where you've been rubbing it against itself so much that there's like friction there. Like if you had your jeans on, you'd almost be asleep. Okay,
oh
like
my
that's
goodness.
how and then once you're good and you feel that it's tacky and that it's hot, it's kind of hottish. It'll get hottish, hotter than your hand. Tear that little piece off. So do this with the bigger pieces. It's easier to do it than with a little piece, but do it with a good size, maybe a Bazooka Joe bubblegum size piece, and really get it going. And then get that little nip off, stick it to your action figure's foot, set it on the shelf, and then rotate. Push down and rotate that, because it'll like grind it kind of down more, and it gets that same friction that you were just doing and applies it one more time before it sets.
Right.
And that's, if you do that with once again with like a 32 scale millimeter scale miniature, it is locked onto what it's on.
There you go.
So I found a lot of times people say, like in hobby forums, they say like, well, forums, like I'm in forums, but on groups, on Facebook groups, Jesus, it's not the 90s, or early aughts was really the forum era, but I hear a lot of people say, oh, everyone says Sticky Tack works, but it doesn't. It just falls off. And I'm like, I bet you're not working with it. You're not getting it up to that like really tacky state, and you're not like doing that once again when you apply it, that turn, that. So if your figure's supposed to be facing forward, face him to his left all the way and set him, and then turn him into place.
Right.
And that's a great tip for a Sticky Tack for sure.
And probably the last tip, bend. It depends on if your figure, if these are NECA turtles, I think they have the ankle joints and stuff, so the ankle rockers. So ankles back, knees bent. That helps a lot too. That can get you. Yeah, just a little bit. And if your joints are stuck, remember air gun, hair dryer, and boiling water. Try either one of those. I stick with the hair dryer, and I've had pretty good luck with that.
Yeah, I ain't looking to get my shit in boiling water. You know what I'm saying?
No. I'd burn myself one way or the other. So I'm gonna get hurt one way or the other.
No, so you don't want that in your life.
You don't want that in your life, but I got some stuff that I think I do want in my life, Ryan. And are you ready to know what that is?
It's time for news.
And for our audio listeners, you would be hearing a news stinger, and for our visual viewers, eventually when they are here, you'd be seeing and hearing something. But it's been a day, as I keep saying, with all kinds of technical difficulties here on the Soup. Are you sneezing? Oh goodness. So
7 months.
Goodness. So we've got some news, lots of stuff to talk about.
We do.
And we're going to try to get through this a little quickly. We're getting long. But real quickly, let's start with the least important thing, or like the stuff that doesn't apply to me as much. We just got news that Super 7 is having an Entertainment Earth, which they're a toy not a manufacturer, a toy website, like the online retailer. That's the word I'm looking for. They have an exclusive glow-in-the-dark Mutagen Man for their what is it? Not classics. It's Ultimates. Their Ultimates line, and he looks fantastic. Their stuff looks great. I don't have any of it, but I hear good things about them. I am a sucker for glow-in-the-dark, and this is the second glow-in-the-dark figure that they've made, which is really cool. And I'm tempted, but I don't know that I'm going to do it, though. I don't know that I'm going to swing it.
How's that $55 price point hit you?
Yeah, it's pretty rough, but they put out quality stuff. It's the Four Horsemen, if I'm not mistaken, still, that sculpt it, and they did all the Masters of the Universe Classic stuff and a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. It's rough, but I'm still sticking with NECA when I can find them. So, but anyway, that's up there. Then moving right along, we we found out we had mentioned a while back that the Walmart it's not a loot crate, but it's some sort of crate. They're getting an exclusive.
Yeah, the mystery crate that we were
Yeah.
like, what is that?
Yeah, and it had something to do with a pinball game that was coming out. Well, we finally got all the info on that, and there was going to be an exclusive Shredder figure in it. Well,
Yes.
this is the same figure that we've received before that is the same sculpt as the animated series Shredder. Except
Okay.
this one has a it's very shiny. It's very shiny, and he's got a cloth cape. So yeah, soft
That's
goods.
Soft goods. that soft goods.
So
check for
that's
all you.
exactly. So that's the big draw there. It also comes with a Krang beanie, which is kind of neat because I like the artwork style. It's very appealing and it draws you in, kind of like how the artwork on a pinball machine is supposed to do. It's not my favorite thing, but it is neat. Like it's like,
You could say it draws you in.
yeah,
You could say it.
like the colors are bright
run
and
away.
vibrant.
Either way.
So it comes with that. It comes with what else was it? You get a shirt and
I like that shirt.
Yeah, then you get two. I think you get like a keychain and some other stuff, and it's kind of neat. But most people are in it for the figure, and people have been finding it at Walmart's. So be on the lookout if that's your thing. And then lastly, and most importantly,
And that's on for $50, by the way.
oh okay, yeah. So
Try to bring these people these prices. So
I
we can make
appreciate
more
it.
for
Yeah.
you.
So
Try to bring you the three.
So our Virginia correspondent Robbie James reported on the Facebook group, which if you're not a member, hey, what are you doing?
That was breaking news right there.
Oh yeah, he posted on the group a video from NECA Toys and April O'Neil herself, Ryan, regarding the Judith Hogue figure from NECA that they're going to be putting out that we talked about. They talked about sometime last year, and they're starting to hype it up now, and it's April when we're recording this, and so it's kind of like an April themed month.
Yeah.
So Judith Hogue's on this video, and she's talking about all kinds of goodies. She's even got a microphone that says NECA on it, and it's kind of neat. So go check it out. If I'm sure it's on their site. But she posted some pictures of the sculpt and like the proto pictures of her figure, and they look fantastic. She's got her cool hair from back then, and like she's got a purse and just
Man,
all kinds of stuff.
She is so late on those Sony payments, man. It puts me right in that place, dude. It's so
goodness. That's probably the reason why she signed off on her likeness, is because she's got to pay those Sony payments.
They're after my ass. I've got to make this payment.
Goodness,
I can't the guy open his hand anymore. I can't, like, it's just too much.
Especially with interest. Like, goodness, that was like what, 90?
Interest from like 1990, dude.
Well, it's got to be before 90 because like she was like late.
She's late on it back then.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So goodness, Sony's
Judith
gonna be coming after her.
The one, only, and true April O'Neil. I am all about this. I mean, I say it a lot. But Armagon made me pop. So
oh goodness, so is she gonna make you pop?
it'd be hard.
Oh,
be hard
my
not to.
goodness. Yeah. Yeah,
My
I'm
girl?
not the biggest fan of movie figures in general, like especially with Marvel Legends. Like I'm not a big movie figure fan. But because I guess I just don't like the realism. But I got the Casey Jones because one, it was like impossible to find. So when I saw it, it's like, do I might as well. And I do like it because he has the mask on, so it kind of like circumvents that whole like realism thing for me.
Yeah, you're not jumping in the face. Although I
Right.
can say NECA faces, man, like Danny. in
They
that
do a
Loot
great
Crate,
job.
That's like damn near photoreal. Like
Oh,
at
yeah.
the angles they shoot it, you're like, okay, this is hot. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, so undoubtedly this is going to be fantastic. So hopefully this is going to come with an Elias Codius figure, or the, like I keep saying, but it won't be Ernie Reyes Jr. unless it's him in the in his costume from when he was the
Keep
stunt
that
actor.
damn dream alive, Eric.
I'm
You
going
keep
to.
that
I'm on that train.
your head dream alive. That will never happen. I'll eat my hat. And I like
dude, you will.
So I'm not gonna look forward to it.
Guys, if NECA's listening, make sure that we get that in their
Well,
ear.
you can't affect it like that. You can't be like, oh NECA, please bail me out of this dumb idea. You can't do that.
Oh, I didn't say bail me out of this dumb idea. I just mean that they're going to do this regardless.
Roll the dice, and we'll see that they'll never just make a random head where Ernie Reyes Jr. is like actually on Raph's body. That's just like I'm just saying that's never going to happen.
I don't know. Mattel kept saying they were never going to make disembodied heads for all their Masters figures because they thought that would look weird, just a box full of heads. They did it, and so
Is this Mattel we're talking about, or I was sorry,
still
I didn't know
the
that this
toy industry. So
Mattel
yeah,
that we were talking
Dang. Goodness, that
I
got
hope
salty.
about. I'm gonna have to buy a shitty hat before I eat it.
Yeah, I get to pick the hat. I get to pick.
Give me a gas station one, so at least it tastes like hot dogs a little bit.
Right. Like there's some flavor
give me
there.
one that's been hanging up in 7-Eleven for like a hot minute, and right near the griller that like rotates a little hot
Tastes
dog.
like a Slim Jim.
Cool. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can taste the little churros and everything.
Oh yeah, it's all there.
Yeah.
Goodness. Well, yeah. Well, speaking of it being all there, you ready to get all there in this episode?
All there? Oh man.
47 minutes in, or however many minutes. Goodness.
Yeah. Yep.
But we had a lot of good emails. We had a lot of good content. We talked about the turtles, guys.
To actually read the emails, and sometimes you have to talk, and sometimes there's a dims of rules, and you gotta like make it happen, and that's what you're called upon to do in this life. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
We must fight, Eric, even if the whole world is against us. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
And that's the theme of the episode. You know what I'm saying? This is Carter the Enforcer. This is the 7th episode from season 9 of the 1987 animated series. This was written by David Wise and directed by Tony Love. And we're getting up here toward the end of this season. So you're seeing things come together. This episode's pretty cool, in my opinion. I mean, it's got its same silliness that we will definitely talk about, including Leo up to his same old tricks. We'll get into that very soon. But what we have going on here is like we're starting to pick up the pace on the Dreg storyline because in Red Skies, everything is contiguous. Everything is one episode to the next. So they know that like, okay, we're getting toward the end of this season. We've got to start to like make the implications bigger on this Dreg storyline and stuff. So you feel it amping up, and I really like that. So here we go. You ready?
Here we go. Let's do it.
So we open up with Lord Dreg speaking to the peoples of Earth about some worrying nearby alien activity that needs to be dealt with now. Thus, with the full cooperation of Earth's authorities, Dreg has created the Star Shield, which is basically a huge, like, space jet thing. And he tells people that it'll be ready to launch in exactly 1 month.
That's quick. That's a quick turnaround.
It's a quick turnaround. This guy knows what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm I'm here for it. He's like, we've been ready to turn it around. But then again, he is like a weird, like, alien, like, benefactor. They're like, cool. I mean, you cleaned all the water up, so, like, legit. So he's got this ready to go in a month. So as he goes on, we kind of change perspective to the lair, and the turtles are now watching this broadcast on TV. And the whole time, Leo, in like a very sensual manner,
is
like slowly like stroking his blade.
Raphael's doing it too.
Yes. And there's this angle from the back of the couch where you just see like Leo's back, and then like a sword sticking out, and this hand like moving up and down. And I'm like, okay, like they had to know this was suggestive.
They had to, right?
Don't see how they don't
like
know that.
Are we the ones that are that depraved? That we're the ones that like?
No, because
it can't be.
So if you just think that this is like, oh, this is like one panel they like showed for a while because like we're seeing behind the couch of them watching, and he's like doing that, but then whatever. No, he keeps that stroke of that blade up with his left hand. He keeps that going, like the whole scene, multiple angles. He's still doing it. It's really weird. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm gonna say he's polishing it. I'm just gonna say he's polishing it.
Is that how you polish with just your bare hands?
I mean, when you're a Ninjato master, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna be putting. So you know how you step up grades of sandpaper, right? Like you go from like this up to the finest. Well, at this point, he's letting his leathery turtle skin is like a 20,000 grit, and he's just putting the last like micro polish on it. That's what I'm gonna say he's doing, because if he's not doing that, it looks like he's doing something else.
Right.
So we're gonna keep it there. So, as he does this, this whole conversation starts up about the usual stuff that's been kind of a refrain on the show at this point. The turtles, they don't trust Dreg. They know he's full of it. When will people start to understand that he's full of it? Like, why do people believe him? Why is he villainizing us? Like, once again, a lot of the tensions and a lot of the frustrations that they've had, like the whole season, especially as Dreg has started to really like hammer in that narrative of I'm the alien benefactor, I'm your buddy, and those turtles are evil, and they're stopping me from delivering you to like an advanced society.
Right.
So they're back on it again, and I like the reappearance of that. They're kind of like, yeah, like this is like really annoying. So then Carter steps up with some answers. Carter's got some theories, right? Carter's like, well,
he's got some theories.
I mean, it's called mob mentality, guys. And he basically says that most people are sheep and just believe things they hear and don't question them.
Yes.
And I'm like,
95.
I'm like, I'm like, word. Like, Carter's up on that. Carter knows what's up. Carter's like, most people just watch the box thing and they go, that's what they said. And then they go to work, right?
Yep.
And it's interesting. I like the fact that this is probably the most adventures like that this cartoon will ever get.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that they are using the mechanic of Dreg and like the pressure on the turtles and the overall like just the environment, and that they're kind of that they're the frog of the jacuzzi and the water's getting hotter, but they're definitely starting to feel it's getting hotter now. Like oh shit, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I like the fact that they use it kind of like they have the turtles striking out. Like there's kind of a theme in this episode of like, is humanity worth saving? Because they're just listening to whatever the dumb alien man says on TV. They don't care about what's really happening.
Right.
So I like the fact that like they do bring this up, and that like that's Carter's answer to it.
Yeah.
No excuses. Most people just believe what they hear, and that's it.
Indeed.
So while this is revelatory, like while this like probably a lot to sit and think on, especially for the turtles, you seem a little naive for this concept. It doesn't really do much to brighten their spirits.
No.
And basically saying, like, if that's true, what you're saying is true, then we're fighting a losing battle. Like it will never come up. We'll never be able to change the tide.
Oh yeah.
It's when old Dad Splinter walks in, with some sage wisdom. Your boy's like, look, this whole thing isn't a popularity contest. You know what I'm saying? Like it's your job to fight evil. Dreg is evil. You are good, and you have to keep fighting it. And like basically, either implied in his words, like the truth will out, or you'll be vanquished.
Yeah.
Like that's it though. Like this is like tale as old as time. You know what I'm saying? Like fight the evil, deal, right? Which
like
does get the turtles like going a little bit. Like no, true. Like that is true. Like this is the eternal struggle. You know what I mean?
Right. And this is their dad saying this to them. Like imagine our dad saying this. Hey, that's your job, is to fight evil. And it's like that seems like a lot of pressure. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess they're ninjas and they're trained to fight, so it's like they got to fight something. So that makes a little bit more sense. But I guess if you boil it down to like a more basic level, it seems very like, I don't know if I could fight evil. Like, I don't know.
No,
that's a lot.
It's a thing. I think everyone's kind of gotten that advice a little bit though in their life at some point. Like, look.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like, you're right. They're wrong. Like, just keep doing what's right, and they'll keep doing what's wrong, and we'll see how that plays out. Right? Like, you're on the right side of this, right? And that's kind of what he's saying. Of course, like you're saying, the implications are so much higher because like the world's at stake. Right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like these are teenagers that like, if they don't do their job, which is essentially like their chores, I guess, the world could end. Like everyone could die. And it seems like they've been slacking between the last two seasons because the Red Skies came out of nowhere. So
stop that.
Yeah.
That won't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not saying if I got Red Skies, you got it. You know what I'm saying? That's another ODB reference on the podcast. So basically, this does set the turtles up some. They're kind of like, yeah, let's call April. So Leo calls April and says, hey, man, like, girl, meet us at the facility where the Star Shield is being built. Because, like, yeah, we're ready to come in and get this going. And bring your
mini cam. Yes.
Minicam. It's very important. Now, Minicam back in 95 was about the size of, like, a VCR rewinder. Do you remember VHS tape rewinder?
Mm-hmm.
It was like size of a VHS tape plus, like, a couple inches on each side. It was like this thing just rewinds tapes.
Yep, that's all it does.
It's about that size. So that's the Minicam we're dealing with in 95.
Mm-hmm.
So at the secret facility where the Star Shield is being built, everyone sneaks onto the base and they encounter this like motion sensor thing that I guess just senses the motion inside the vent they wanted to use and not just outside where it would have set off an alarm.
Yeah.
And this allows your boy Carter to put what looks like a 90s stopwatch you get from like Kmart, like on top, and press a button and it gets all sparky, and then it kills the motion detector, and they're like, cool, let's go in the vent now. So they go in there. Our heroes sneak through this vent and get eventually to the main facility where they can lay eyes on the Star Shield itself. And I guess like actually seeing it so like close to completion, because it's like it looks like the image of like the Star Shield he shows earlier. Like it's that, but like in real life building.
Yeah,
makes everyone like nervous. As Donnie and Carter start to exclaim, that looks like ready to launch, and that it's definitely not a defensive weapon. Like Carter says, that's not that's a first strike weapon if I've ever seen one, right?
Oh,
so
yeah, 100%.
They're definitely reinforcing that claim of like, yeah, no, like if we could just like find a way to like show this to people, like this is not normal. Like people will care when they see this.
Mm-hmm.
They'll listen to us instead of the bad person, and even if they are kind of sheep, then at least they'll be bond to the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think under the ball and the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That does not a ball with the ball reference. That's not a Kid Rock reference, and I can't right now. But there's hope. There's still a lot of the podcast left. I feel like we can get there. So start working on it. We'll start working on it.
Okay.
Right now, it's just the base of the work. It's nowhere near as completed as this damn Star Shield. You know what I'm saying?
Nowhere
this thing
near.
is like
it's ready to go. It's ready for first contact.
So there's like workers around, like kind of like I'm gonna weld a wing, and they're like, and I guess like there's nothing really obviously evil happening, right? So they're like, we need to dig a little deeper. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of like moonwalk out of that vent, like, oh, I'm going back out now. So elsewhere in the facility, we see Dreg is bragging to the high tech that Star Shield is the most powerful thing ever built ever, and Earth stands no chance against it, and humans are dumb, and I'll always win. On a massive like video call with the high tech, right? Like Dreg's obviously in the Dreadnought, so he's talking to high tech on the ground.
Right.
Well, our perspective changes again, and they love doing this episode. It changes, and we realize that now April's filming that business.
Yeah.
And they're all in
investigative
another
reporting.
And I gotta say, I was honestly surprised by that. I was like, what? I don't understand. Like, because I thought it was on the Dreadnought.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, they were on the Dreadnought.
Right.
But then all of a sudden it's like, burp, 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 and they put a little frame in there where you can see the time running in the recording. I'm like, man, they got up in that vent. They got that footage. I was like really happy with it. They stuck with it. I was like, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
So she she gets Dreg being accidentally evil as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like it's caught. You know what I'm saying? On tape. But the high tech notices her through the air vent. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
A hell of some eyes on him.
Well, let's be honest. This air vent is holding 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and 2 grown adults. So this is a pretty big air vent.
It was probably also a situation where somebody, it's not in the episode, but somebody went, got him.
Oh,
just loud enough, right? Like someone's got to say that.
Well, April did say, Dreg, you just hanged yourself. So that was probably the 95 equivalent to got him.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then Raph goes, World Star! Like after that, clone, it's a cool thing. So, your boy, the high tech, just starts shooting into the vent. Doing a damn good job of destroying it and almost hitting everybody. So everyone kind of pulls April out of the line of fire, and they barely escape. What follows is like a massive chase where the turtles get away from the facility, but like not before being like visually identified by several of the human security guards like on site. They're kind of like, "Hey, that's those turtles,"
Mm-hmm.
and Mike's like, "But we're on your side, dude. I'm gonna shut the door so you don't shoot me." And like, yeah, he
Right.
shuts the door,
And
and
well,
Ted doesn't get it.
and these guards have these giant like fish looking bazookas, like
Yes, that's
laser
definitely
guns.
that's worth noting. That's definitely like dreg integration.
Right.
Like those are dreg. Those
Yeah.
aren't like the typical like. Typically, we see like the classic like AR-15/M4,
Mm-hmm.
like M16. Like we see that kind of weapon on them before. And back in the day, they used to fire them, but like lasers came out. But they definitely looked like the M16.
Yeah.
Now these are like guns that like the techno gang use.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which
that
is
was a
weird.
sharp eye. I didn't make it a note of my notes, but I definitely noticed that where I'm like, these guys are using like dreg weapons, but they're humans.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is
You know?
interesting because this dude's supposed to be all about peace, isn't he? So he's giving you guns. I mean,
Well, remember, so the fascist. So what Dreg did was by making an enemy and a faceless menace of the turtles,
mm-hmm.
he gave a reason. He gave the people a reason why he's arming up. That's the
Yeah,
classic,
that makes sense.
right?
Yeah.
Like I want to mobilize the military to basically quash any resistance.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't mobilize the military because then before I do it, they'll be like, he's a fascist, and they'll stop me. So what I do is I blame the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is anyone, name them. Border crisis goes on or something happens, and we need to mobilize. Terrorists might attack, and we get everybody in place, and then that's when the trap is sprung. And that's the step of the fascist takeover that Dreg is currently in. He's in the turtles are going to get you. We don't know when they'll strike or where they'll strike. They got those punk frog dudes, and we haven't seen them yet.
That's true.
So everybody gets my cool guns.
Well, I'm for it as long as we get those cool guns, because those cool guns are neat, because they're good display pieces, and you can use them to try to shoot a turtle.
So what I would say definitely if you got when eventually when Dreg takes over before he while he's setting everything up, if you get your own Dreg like fish looking machine gun, laser machine gun, I would definitely if you're going to display it proudly in your home like above your fireplace like Pappy's shotgun, I would suggest taking the shelving that you're using and definitely giving that a good like 10-degree back. Do you know what I'm saying? A 10-degree rake.
Yeah, definitely.
That way the fishy gun, because the fishy gun isn't like Pappy's shotgun, okay? It doesn't have hard angles on it.
No.
There's not a hard line on it. It's all smooth and fishy. So you put it up there and you kind of lean it against the wall. Make sure that your wall's not painted in anything that will react with the special paint on the fish gun.
Absolutely. Right. You got to think about that.
You'll be good to go. And think about how high you hang it. You know what I'm saying? It can't be too close to the hearth because you might bubble it up. Trust me, that's happened.
Oh, my Lord.
Anyway. So, it turns out that the turtles need a place to hide because they're on a chase, and there's some vehicles starting to mobilize after them. They're like, oh shit, so they got to get out. So they're like, okay, don't worry, like guys. Mikey's like, guys, don't worry, guys. There's a huge hole. There's a huge hole there with a sign, and we should drive right into it. And they do. And it just turns out that this huge open hole has a completely paved, beautiful entrance right into the sewers.
Yep.
It's like Batman, like how Batman has like the Batcave, then he has like the waterfall, but also a way he can drive his car out.
Yeah.
This is like what I've always dreamed of. Small Writer's Room in this, instead of randomly finding a hole, I would have had them have to go have a little bit of a longer chase and get back to to show people how they get in and out of the sewer with the party wagon.
Yeah,
that'd be
that
cool.
Been fun. Yeah,
because we're kind of aping Batman a little bit, right? Because he's like he's our great villain for without if we're making a cartoon in the era,
right?
He's our Turtles menace, border crisis.
Oh
so
yeah,
I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna give you a little in on like how the Turtles get this huge party wagon in and out of the sewers.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's you. I have a memory, and I could be wrong, but you remember back in the good old days, before Red Skies, they would do that. It usually happened before like when they're back to the lair at the last act of the before the last joke before the show ends. it would
The funny and out, the out funny.
precisely. It would show that circular grate that had the bars on it underneath the
Oh
city.
yeah,
If I'm not
Oh, yeah.
mistaken, that I have a memory of that opening up and that they come out of there at least in 1 or 2 episodes. Now, granted, to your point, they never do it enough to where we know for certain that that's a thing.
no.
But I have a
It-
feeling that they showed that
Oh,
once or
yeah.
twice.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, no, I have a memory of that too, of it popping out of the ground. I also have a memory of like them making a lot more use out of like disguised portals, so like telephone booths.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that, where like one turtle can pop out like at different spots. Like, but it was definitely like motorized. Like they had a
Yeah.
rig.
Yeah, that was
That would
way
bring
early
them
on.
Like yeah, like out in public, but like they were still like inconspicuous, kind of hidden. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, we make it into the sewers. So once they're safely driving through the sewers, and they're at speed, and they're just chatting. So you're like, there's a lot of like just I could drive through here.
Mm-hmm.
April declares, almost in a way, like almost sounding like she's reassuring herself out loud that she still has friends in the news business.
Yeah.
And that she'll try to get the tape on air. And when April says, she goes, "What?" And it sounded like a response. It sounded like someone like said something like, "I mean, how April, I don't know how you're gonna get a thing on the air." She's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, I still have friends in the news business, okay?" Like that's the way she delivered it. It didn't sound like, it didn't sound like, "Oh, I can't wait to give this to my friends." It was more like, "Oh no, I've got friends. I can get it on the air."
Yeah.
It was very defensive.
Oh, absolutely.
Because now she's just become Leo's grandkid who has to look everything up for him on the internet. So like, I think she's at this point, I feel like she's trying to reestablish herself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I'm April O'Neil. I am a freelance reporter. I used to work in the news more regularly, and I'm still connected. I'm not just your granddaughter, your granddaughter who looks up everything for you on the internet, Leo.
Right.
That's not going to be my new. I hate to say it, but I'm not. That's not my full time gig.
Right.
You're trying to turn me into Oracle, but I'm not Oracle because I get out there. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I got my car. I've got the red Corvette. I got this badass jacket. My eyes are teal now. They're
Yep.
awesome. I got bob cut. I'm not playing. I'm not playing with like, go look that up. I'm not Oracle. Okay, I'm not gonna get you a map. I got no HUD. This isn't Batman. As much as you want it to be.
Right.
Sorry for the rant.
It's okay.
So
That's what we're here for.
So the Turtles and Carter and April, they kind of face a problem because like they realize that they have to like kind of help protect April now because she has this like super important like tape of Dreg being like, "I'm evil." So
Mhm.
they're like, we need to figure this out. But at the same time, like the Turtles are like those streets are piping hot. You know what I'm saying? Like the Turtles especially, like if people see if random, you get a feeling that once the news breaks of this whole break-in, if people randomly see the Turtles on the street, like people may actually like throw shit at them. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like the people are that agitated
Oh yeah.
and they realize it's just blocks hot, right? They can't have it.
Mhm.
So they decide that Carter will escort April topside as he's a lot less conspicuous, which is very rational. He's like, "Look, I can get away with it." And they're like, "Okay, cool." So back topside, in what I hope they're not, I might be overreacting, but what I hope they're not setting up as a ship, like a Carter April ship.
Yeah.
Like they roll up on Carter's motorcycle, April riding right behind him, and I'm like, "Don't you?" And nothing else in this episode makes it feel like they're shipping Carter and April.
Yeah.
But my ship alarm went off
Really.
the minute. It's like, you know what I mean? Because like that's how cartoons used to kind of roll back in the day. Like they would get like a male and female character together working on more stuff, and if they wanted to throw in a little of that tension, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? A little of that like I got feels tension, a little of that flirty tension, they could do that.
See, I didn't pick up
And
any of that. I didn't feel like any of that was a thing.
No, I'm not saying that they even did it.
Okay,
saying
you're just
the
saying that the
image-
propensity was there. Like they could have done it.
Yeah, the setup I was getting from like, well, and remember it's Carter who offered. Carter's like, "Hey guys, I'll escort her because like I can get away with it." They're like,
Mhm.
"Okay, cool." Then all of a sudden, topside, here goes the motorcycle, and April's like on the back, and he like hugging onto him, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I said, they didn't do it,
Yeah.
but like, I don't know about you, man, but like, did you ever get like jealous over cartoon characters when they started getting shipped? Like,
Not really. I don't think because
I did, man.
generally, I think we've talked about this before. But generally, I think that I don't know. I never had anything with them like in the cartoon, but like toys, it was like a thing for me in a weird way. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like I had a lot more of attachment to the characters like action figures than I did them in the show. I don't know.
I know it's pretty common. Like people would like develop like crushes
Oh,
on
absolutely.
cartoon.
Yeah, no,
They really did.
And I'm
bro,
not
when
saying
they
that I
tried to
didn't.
when they
I'm
tried
not
to
s-
ship like my
Yeah.
girl with somebody else, I was like, "Excuse me," do you know what I'm saying? Like that's not happening.
Yeah.
Like it's weird.
I guess I thought of it in a sense like, well, I'll win her back. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Yeah,
fine.
but
You
you
try
can't.
that.
But you can't.
Well, you don't know that. I mean,
You can't.
especially as a
You
child.
don't exist in the same universe, so you can't.
Yeah, but every
But
cartoon that shows a child with any kind of cartoon character usually has a way to get to their universe. I mean, we've got Mario. I just watched Bucky O'Hare, so there's a kid there that goes to their universe. So I mean, like the precedent was laid for me to think that I could get to their universe and rise to the challenge, Ryan.
so I feel like if this was a movie, it would cut to me, kind of like in Napoleon Dynamite. It'd cut to me with like something I bought on the internet that's like a weird contraption that says like, like cartoon universe crossover device.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so you're saying I got a chance? And I'm like trying to set it like Rescue Rangers
Yeah.
and like whatever. I'm trying to make it happen so I can go get my girl.
Right.
Yeah, like that. So anyways, yeah, so yeah, like it felt like a ship, then it didn't. So I was like, cool. Let's not ship that. That's fine. We all know that April should only ever be with Warrior Dragon. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you understand that?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Because I
Warrior Dragon?
think I was.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Chushi, of course.
I know. I'm just looking at the camera weird now.
No, I think I was thinking for some reason about Rex 1, but then that's Irma. So yeah, no. But Irma's got options. Irma's got options. She's got Howie too. So
Howie, Rex will see on all day. Okay, we're getting sidetracked. Here we go. Okay,
we are.
blade through. Here we go. So turns out that Carter's like, yeah, just go upstairs. It's fine. There's probably no one hostile in that building. You can just go inside that big building. It's cool. I'm gonna stay outside. And as he kind of is walking, he's like kind of scowling around. He's like, man, I bet you Dreg's people are just around the corner because that's how it works. And sure enough, a Dreadnought scout ship, like just like comes down. Classic, like the high tech busts out, like with a bunch of like techno gang goons, like pop down. Like Carter's like surrounded. This automatically prompts Carter to self-mutate himself into Savage Dragon Big Bird, because that's how we got to get this done. He makes short work of the Turtle Gang, man. He disarms high tech, and you're like, dude, he's turning this table, baby.
Oh, he is.
But then we come back into April. So inside the news building, well, guys, April's run right into the arms of a sheeple. You know what I'm saying? It happened. Friend of the news, turns out she shows him the tape. Dreg literally says, man, humanity can suck one. I'm out. I can't wait for Starshield to come up and I just take over the whole planet. No, I'm serious. My name is Dreg and I endorse this message. Okay. And your boy is like, it turns out that effectively April ran right into the arms of Dreg's like equivalent of like Dreg's Sean Hannity. He starts immediately doubting the footage. Is it real? He starts like adding all this conjecture about, and like, I mean, I don't buy it because like Dreg's awesome. And what have the turtles done for us? But Dreg's done it. He is brainwashed, man. He will not listen to the facts. It doesn't matter.
I love that he says, what have the turtles done for humanity lately? So like,
yes,
it kind of, that's like insult to injury in my opinion, where he's definitely recognizing that the turtles did some stuff, but what have they done lately? What have they done for me lately? Nothing. Okay, well, I'm going with this guy
for sure. And we talked about it before. We're like, if you were around like a few years ago, you saw literally like the Technodrome driving into the city and the turtles come out and fight that.
Oh yeah.
Undeniable.
Oh yeah.
But now that Dregs entered the picture, and importantly, Shredder and Krang are no longer the like obvious threat that they are, where they're like, this week I'm going to take over. Like they're not doing that. Dreg, once again, I love Dreg as a villain because he's spinning this narrative. I'm a big fan.
Absolutely.
And with Shredder and Krang to play off of, and with Dreg doing a really good job at like fighting the turtles, but like keeping it hid and then blaming them for whatever fallout happens, man, he's got this guy set up. This dude is a 100% like Dreg man. He's a yes man for Dreg. He's like, yes. And what's more is he literally tells April that her credibility is worth nothing. And he does this. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's been known to associate with the turtles, and it's been so long that basically like it's drained her credibility to nothing because people will never believe that she's just not like a turtles propaganda machine and that she's fake news.
And it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense unless there's something that we're not being told that happened. Sure, there's probably some like oversight that the narrative's taking to where that we're supposed to think that the turtles have well, it's kind of always been this way that yeah, we've seen the turtles do good stuff, but like this show has been really good at showing how fickle humanity can be and how easily we'll turn on our heroes.
Oh, for sure.
And but the thing I'm loving is that like I can understand to a degree people questioning, is this real nowadays? It makes a lot more sense to ask that question as opposed to 1995.
Yeah, I kind of bypassed that because I felt like at first I felt the same thing where his first thing is like any Cub reporter could fake this. And I almost wanted to be like, could any Cub reporter in 1995 fake a video like that?
Yeah, like it'd be one thing. It'd be one thing if it was a human talking to another human that about doing this thing. But no, you have two actual in this reality, real life aliens talking.
Yeah.
And now, granted, Dreg. Well, I guess we do hear his voice, and so it doesn't sound.
I mean, you can make nowadays. You can make a Dreg deep fake and shit. But like
absolutely.
Back then,
but back then,
you
probably could have done it, but it would. I don't think where April's at right now. I don't think that she would have been able to do that based on what he's saying.
So how I chose to interpret this that makes it kind of cooler to me is it reinforces the indoctrination. Like,
oh yeah,
he thinks that could just be easily faked. Like that's the mentality he's in. He's kind of like, you know what, like you know what, anyone can fake that, and like and he says that because honestly, that's how the brainwash goes. When you're indoctrinated, when you've self-identified with a side, right? And I'm not trying to get super political here, but we've seen this lately in our real world with the coronavirus, with everything. When you get polarized and you're on a side now, and that side is all wrapped up in your identity, which is the thing we hold the closest dear to us, is our dear identity. If I don't have my identity, I'm not me.
It's like our ranch and our hot sauce. Like if we don't have that, then it's not dinner.
Exactly. If I don't got my Buffy Blue on that mac and cheese with that chicken, what's happening to me?
Buffy Blue.
Like what's happening?
Is it even dinner?
Is it even? Am I? Hello. Hello. Right. Like you get to this place. So
right.
I chose to believe it like that, where like, you know, you bring somebody evidence that is incontrovertible, right? And they go, that can't be true. And you're like, oh, but it is.
Yeah.
But it really is. And they're like, fake news, right? Like that's what he's doing. He says, oh, you can fake that. And it doesn't matter because you notice he doesn't spend long on that. Like he then moves into attacking her person. So Strawman. Strawman's the turtles. He strawmans her. Talks about everything but Dreg's video, by the way, before attacking April and the turtles again, going into her credibility. And then he ends by saying, oh, and by the way, no one will air this.
Right.
Like, I'm not the only one. It's you. Like, the problem's not me. The problem is you.
Right.
And everyone feels how I feel, and you are crazy, and it's gaslighty. There's a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah.
And I love this. This is like, I've been very favorable. If you listening to last season, I've been very favorable toward the storyline, and this is the payoff. I talk a lot about dropping deposits in the bank so you can write checks, right?
Mhm.
That economy of like good writing puts money in the bank so that when you want to pull off a scene like this, where April goes to this friend, someone who probably was a good friend in the news.
Yeah, that's another
Before
thing
all-
to talk about. Yeah, this is the person that when April was challenged
Down and out.
down and out, this is who she thought. Now, we don't know if this is the first or the last person she thought of, but nevertheless, it's someone that was on that list in her Rolodex, or if you will.
That she got access to. This is the I'm down and out. I've got something. I need you to help me. This is my lifeline. Right?
Yeah, that's
And look how
unfortunate.
much he, right? And I love it. I love it because the money's there. Because you cash the check and the bank account doesn't bounce. You're like, you've thrown so much about this whole thing building up
Mm-hmm.
that now it's like you've got like so many million points in the bank. Like, write me more checks for this. Like, I want to cash these. These are so good.
Right.
And I gotta say that this writing is just a step up.
Yeah.
Like the Red Skies, and especially this season, this storyline in particular, this kind of C plot of like the turtles are being besmirched and kind of treated bad, and the city's turning against them, and seeing it bubble up in places, and seeing it bubble up here, and seeing the personal betrayal of April. Like, this is what's up. This
Yeah,
this
it's-
is the
It's nice. It's nice seeing her on the outs as well as the turtles. That's
Yes.
kind of cool.
Yes,
But,
yes. She's paying a price too. Which great turtle stories that involve April as a reporter. So we're in that timeline, that style, not really non-Mirage stuff. Play up on this a lot.
Yeah.
They usually play up on April as it's some way, and Adventures did this. April is at some way at a disadvantage, or living life in a weird, prismatic, distortion of what her life could be because of the turtles' effect on her, and because she spends so much time with them. I mean,
Right.
here you had Wrist Lingus. I mean, April's great aunt figured that out in 2 seconds, and go on. But anyway, we need to move on. So
Yes.
I'm glad we had this moment, because it's really great. So outside, Big Bird Carter, while this betrayal is happening, and April's it's coming home like, wow, geez, no one believes reality anymore. Big Bird Carter is still holding his own against the Techno Gang and the High Tech, when all of a sudden he goes limp
Mm-hmm.
and reverts back to regular Carter. You can't perform forever, especially on a self mutation. Eventually,
Right.
you just get tired.
Yep.
What happens to him?
Mm-hmm.
He gets tired. He wears out. He tries to TurtleCon for backup, but High Tech like off the hip shot, like a pow, like shoots that TurtleCon away. High Tech controlled it. He's like, nope. I've been waiting forever to literally hot shot a TurtleCon from a Turtle Associate's hand. That's
Yes.
like an
Turtle
achievement,
Associates.
unlocked came up when he did that. Like, he
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, got him. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about this.
Mhm.
He does that, and sure enough, he's captured, and along with his bike, they take his bike. It's very important, I guess. They grab his bike too, and they go up into the scout ship. So April exits the building, doesn't see Carter, but she kind of just like thinks he got bored and left. Which at first I wanted to be like, really?
Yeah.
Would Carter really do that? Until I realized that he was pretty fond of like getting mad and zooming off.
Oh, absolutely.
I can see where April's kind of like, yeah, like, while I was inside, like, where I probably showed up, like, hey, you bozo. Hey, you bozo, be a teammate. He's like, you know what, I'm out of here. He does that. So, like, maybe that happened, like, when she wasn't around. So,
Oh, yeah.
April doesn't care. April's like, well, whatever. I'll call the guys. So she calls the turtles and tells them the bad news. That, like, her name is Mud. Ain't happening. The turtles get, like, an idea. They're like, hey, meet us at this this area where this broadcast antenna is. She's like, gotcha, I'm on it. So when they get there, they're really irritated. The turtles up against the wall. Donnie, and I love the way that the voice acting was done here. Donnie grabs April's camera, and he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna hook this thing directly to this actual broadcast antenna, because if we can get anybody to believe us and show it on their channel, then
Mhm.
we're just gonna actually connect this VHS mini cam to an actual broadcast tower. I don't know if it'll work, but like this is where we're at, right? Which I liked. So anyhow, so while Donnie's getting that hooked up, all of a sudden, like the Turtles and April get like real concerned about Carter. They're like, none of y'all seen Carter recently?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like Donnie's doing this desperate thing, but like we're not doing anything. So like, where's Carter at? I don't know. When all of a sudden, here comes Carter, just walking up. Now, when he's walking up, you know something's wrong. He's on his bike. Like, what? Like, this guy, he literally wants to be James Twin Peaks so bad it like actually hurts.
Oh yeah.
So he's walking up, but hey, you know what? Sometimes Carter maybe lost his bike. Who knows? So he comes walking up, and things start happening really fast here. So like Mikey is like, hey man, hey Carter, come over here. Then out of nowhere, these two like random Booster Gold looking people show up, like from the like futurish looking at like with the laser guns. And they're like, hey, like wearing like little headbands. And you're like, what? They start shooting at Carter. So the Turtles are like, and they have to go like help, but they do like a really terrible job of making them stop shooting at Carter, and they basically just hug them from behind, like, and still let the Booster Gold twins like shoot their guns. And they're like, hey, why are you shooting at Carter? He's cool. And they basically say, we're saving your life.
Oh yeah.
They keep doing it. Well, Carter pulls leather and starts shooting back. And that really gets the Turtles knocked off their game. They're like, wait a minute. Or just pulled that gat and just like went sideways and started shooting at like this is a shootout with Carter.
Yeah, like where did that
Carter's
come from?
That's crazy. Carter's got that gun. Once again, it's that Drake Tech. You know what I'm saying? It's that fishy gun. It's that fishy pistol. You know what I'm saying? He's like, what the hell? He like goes, right? They have a firefight where no one goes for cover because they're just walking toward each other firing.
And they
Turtles
all they're all like trained at the same shooting gallery where it's like you get points for missing because goodness. Yeah, none of these people are for as many guns as that they have, they're all horrible at shooting.
Yeah. I think a brief exception might be the Techno Gang. They're not bad at it. Every time the Techno Gang starts firing up, the Turtles have to go hide.
That's true.
Like you ever notice that? Like when the Techno Gang opens up, like with violins, like these cats got to get behind like a console because like they're going to get shot.
That is true. They are a little bit more adept with their weaponry than most people in this series.
Fortunate because like we got like Stormtrooper syndrome. The problem is we don't have like the Force in this universe to explain like why they right. Like, we don't have that. It's like no, they just suck. So they're blind firing at each other. It's happening. The Turtles are caught in this crossfire. They duck to get some things, but eventually the Techno Gang come down. Like on top of all this, now this is and it's definitely seen as something built to be like dramatized. Like a lot of stuff's happening. So the Techno Gang comes down, like, what? The Techno Gang? And the Techno Gang form this like defensive perimeter around Carter and start just shooting into the Booster Gold twins and the Turtles. Now no one knows what's going on. Carter just casually walks away. Once the the Techno Gang gets established and firing, Carter just walks off. Walks April's gigantic minicam, opens it up, pulls the tape out, and just crushes it in one hand.
One hand.
I fainted. Now, luckily, because this is too much. Now, luckily, this is a commercial break, so I snapped back out right when the commercial came back. You know what I'm saying? I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Whoa.
Yes.
Right. And then that happened, and then when I woke back up, your voice was in my head.
And there you go.
Really weird.
So yeah, you're about to have deja vu or deja vu, if you will.
What did you say?
I said deja vu, like you know, you and me. Boo. Yeah. So,
yeah.
But real quick though, like, I don't even think the Power Team could crack a video cassette one-handed. Like those dudes could rip phone books in half for Jesus.
That requires the torsion of two hands.
Right. The fact that you could crush a videotape with one, that's formidable. Like I don't even know. Like I would faint like in real life too. Like yeah. That's nuts. Anyway, sorry.
What's kind of though about that is like he crushes it and then this happens in movies all the time. He crushes it and just leaves it on the ground.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Really?
just
Yeah.
that is okay. Go find a copy. Go find your third copy of Wayne's World that's worn out. Because
Yeah.
you know there is one sitting around that you don't watch. Like you've actually like put like Sharpie on it that say "Don't watch me," but you still have it. You don't throw it away.
Oh,
You
yeah.
never do. Because if you were a smart kid with the VHS back in the 90s, you realize sometimes the spools or the buffers on the actual case would wear out before your tape would. So you re-spooled that thing and rehoused it in a new VHS case or a better condition, and it'd be right back to normal.
Back to normal. Yep. There you go. The more you know.
Taking the tape. Like,
well, speaking of
that's
taking,
just
well, speaking of taking things, we got our future fun friends that they're taking off, Ryan.
Yep.
They're taking off after the Techno Gang, and April wants to know what's going on. She shows up. She's like, I don't know what any of this is. Like, we have future people. Right. Carter's like shooting a gun now. Like, what's up with that? And what's going on? So the Turtles trying to figure it out, like what's happened to Carter and who these two new people are. And Leo is like, okay, well, let's see if we can dig up any dirt on them. I think by this point they figured out their names. So that's basically Leo telling April again, hey, can you go do a mega search for me? Just get on your massive computer and go look at some microfiche or whatever you could back in 95 and see what you can find out about these two people's names. And
yes. And how does April respond to that?
Like, I guess she's like, oh, okay.
Like she would. She goes, but so I'm supposed to go. She literally goes, I'm supposed to go look up Merrick and Landor. That's it. He's like,
yep. Thanks.
She's like, probably. She says like, I don't know. That's like, that's not very good. I don't know if I can do that. He's like, well, go do it.
Yeah.
And he's back to that. He's back to that. That's what he does now. That's what he does now. That's his.
And to be honest, though, I don't want to victim blame by any means, but
sure.
I think April needs to stand up for herself a little bit, you know?
Yes.
And I think that would, now I'm not trying to tell her what to do, but like, I think that any person in this situation where they're feeling like how we're perceiving her to feel, she needs to make her feelings known, I think. Because I think Leo is relying on her because she knows computers and she knows how to do things. So he's, as a leader does, they rely on their friend's strength and like what they're good at. And yet April probably wants to be more than that. But she hasn't really let that be known to Leonardo yet. So I don't know. It's kind of a two-edged sword, but Leo as a leader should know that she should be able to pick up on this. But then again, he's a teenager, so there's
what's weird is like
nuance.
Things are leading to a very like Oracle place for April, like I mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that David Wise chose to have her like resist it, like, you know, every time, and I'm not. This is not director's cut. This is in the episode. Every time that April, that Leo's done the April do the internet, April's response is like, I don't understand. That's a stupid thing to look up. That's gonna take me forever.
Right.
That's very inefficient. This is not the time to do an internet check. This is crazy. It's 1995. Like, she doesn't say those exact words, but she does give guff every time. She goes, I mean,
oh yeah, totally.
Girl, I guess. So it's funny that David Wise chose to have her fight it, right? Because you would think if you wanted April to be an Oracle role, which, by the way, if you guys don't know, in the Batman comics and stuff, and in cartoons, because Batman everywhere, Barbara Gordon, who was Batgirl pre-Killing Joke, where that stopped real fast because bullets and spines don't mix. Your girl did not have the use of her legs. So for a hot minute in the comics, she took the name Oracle, and she basically was like Batman's like coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Which once again, I mean, is basically what April's kind of moving into, and she's awesome as Oracle, by the way. Like, I thought that was a really cool like turn in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
But she like helps him. She does research. She and she saves Batman's ass a bunch of times. But that's kind of what like April's turning into. It's just funny that David Wise chose to be like, but also she doesn't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Is this the Batman animated series podcast now? Is that what we're doing? Is that
Actually, no, I was talking about the Batman, the comics.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Gosh, it just felt like how when I was talking about He-Man last episode. Oh man, I just went on forever. And goodness.
But it's weird how it wasn't. It's weird how it wasn't as boring this time.
I know, isn't that strange? Yeah, somehow it's different when the shoe's on the other foot. Oh,
It's almost like perspective really matters when you're going off on something and like you're like, well, that's highly entertaining, and then the other person's like, I hated that, and then you're like, yeah, but that's how I felt when you went off on something. It's like,
yeah. I mean, I've only got. I about said something probably not safe for YouTube. So yeah, I probably
I
need
was
to.
I was bringing the content, by the way, per the Turtle Soup superlatives.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
explaining. They didn't know who Oracle was, and they heard Ryan go Oracle all episode that they would understand.
And I'm glad you did because I almost interrupted you and
Sorry.
suggested that. And then I thought, no, I might get yelled at for that, so I'm not going to do it. And then I'm glad that you did, though. So I was just busting your balls, though.
Sorry for caring. I'm doing that.
It's too late.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry that I care about. Sorry that I care about him. Sorry.
Right.
It's my fault. I care too much about the listener. I'm sorry.
You care
sorry.
too much.
Right.
Well,
You're
I
right.
care too much about
Right.
this episode, so let's keep going. But you're absolutely right, though, about everything you said. So where are we at? So let's see. So April's upset, kind of, but she begrudgingly is like, "All right, I'm gonna go figure this out." So
Yeah,
So yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm discombobulated with my setup here. Here we go. There we go. All right. So the turtles finally are like, all right, let's catch up to Landor and Merrick, and they do, and they're like, hey, what's going on? Like, what are you guys doing? And they explain that we're from the future, 20 years in the future, your future actually, and we're here to save you. And the turtles are like, what? From who? And they're like, Carter. And they're like, Carter? Like, why would you want to save us from him? I mean, yeah, he just like did a bunch of weird stuff, but like he's weird anyway, so this is not really unusual. And then I think it's Merrick. Merrick's the one who looks sort of female. She says Carter is not your friend. Just bold ass, just right there. And the turtles are blown out, Ryan. Like just I don't know if you can see this right here. But like that is, I got a screen cap of this for anyone who's watching. But
totally. Yeah, no, that look of like Carter said, Carter, my friend, what? They could not. They could
right.
Not. Is that Carter with a motorcycle shoot? Oh no! Like, yeah,
so yeah, and at that point, Carter shows up and he starts blasting dudes, just laying them down.
Confirm,
yes.
Not your friend.
Yes, right there. And by the way, the turtles and our future friends are in an alley up against a wall. Just then, a bright light happens, and you find out that they used their time device that takes them back 20 years now in the future. And so the city that we see here is supposed to be it's supposed to look more desolate and dystopian, but it really just looks like the same, except for more buildings are destroyed, I guess.
There's more trouble. I agree.
Yeah. And so
it's weird.
Leo asks how it all happened, and it's pretty simple. Dreg won. That's pretty much it. And so Mikey
Days Past out here right now. That's what's happening.
What'd you say? Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past right now.
Oh yeah,
and that's what's going on. That's the story.
Oh, 100%. And I think this is 95. I don't know when the episode, because X-Men did an episode of that. So and now that you mention it, yeah, it does look a lot like that. So Mikey then points out a group of 4 people who look destitute walking by, and is told that they are one of the work details returning from the plants. One of the people in the group gets extremely excited about some trash can when they're walking by, and runs over to it, and immediately a Techno Gang member spots her and calls her a looter, and calls for a ship to prep for apprehension. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up about Days of Future Past, because they say apprehension here, and that's the first time I ever heard that word, or read it, I should say, was on the cover of Days of Future Past, where you have Wolverine and Kitty, and it says apprehended, slain. Yeah, and that tied it in for me, and I always loved that. I always loved learning new words back. Well, I still do. And
I remember as a kid having a copy of it, and I remember going in my room and breaking down like analyzing each like poster and what it said,
Oh yeah.
and like you know what I mean, and like trying to get it through my head, like what it all had happened, and like thinking about the stories behind like how each of them had those statuses.
Yeah, that was
So-
wild. So they get called. The ship comes down, and the techno they take her. The more techno gangs show up and take her, and they basically just yeet her like a Nerf football into the ship. Your
They
boy
actually
Mike,
do that.
yeah, they do. Your boy Mikey is pissed, and even though he'd just seen her, this person, he was immediately smitten with her and wanted to flirt. But Landor tells him, "Around here, around here, you only pick the battles you can win." And then in the director's cut, Adam Duritz shows up and does an acoustic version of the Counting Crows song "Around Here." Then we are told that she'll be taken to Dreg's central headquarters, and once you go in, you never come out, Ryan.
Yep, that's the gulag right there.
It
That's
is.
what's happening.
So,
That is the case.
so Landor and Merrick take the turtles to Dreg's shipyard. Merrick tells us that Dreg enslaved the human race to build starships for him. They say that he's off conquering other worlds while they just keep building more warships. Warships. There we go. And but it's never enough. Just then they are spotted by one of the Blackbird looking ships. Like these are they just look like a really fast, like again, like the X-Men ship a little bit, but actually black.
Yeah.
And it's like the ship that if I'm not mistaken, it's the same ship that the Techno Gang usually travels in. If I recall correctly. Anyway,
It's like a more of a central scout ship. It's a bigger ship. It's not a
Yeah.
teeny ship. It's like a medium size.
Right. So an alarm sounds, and then the ship blasts the bridge, causing our future friends to find themselves falling to the ground below where the turtles were staying. Because I guess like when they got there, they were walking like over this bridge and stuff, and they were overlooking all the ships that they were building, and so then a bunch of the Techno Gang like get out of the ship once it lands, and the gang members apprehend Landor and Merrick, and they carry them into the ship. Again, Mikey is so pissed, Ryan. Like he is livid because he didn't get to flirt with Merrick yet. So
True.
he like he's just so mad. Like he's got all this like love he wants to give to all these future people, and he can't yet, and it's very frustrating for him.
Shell's tight. There's nowhere
Shell's
to go.
tight. Oh my lord. So he uses his grappling hook. I love this so
Yes.
much. Like he uses his grappling hook and to rappel down to try and stop them from leaving. But the animation looks, I don't know if you saw it like this. The animation looks like it like the other turtles are peacing out. They're like, "All right, bye." And they're just like leaving. But Mikey's like, "Oh no, I got to go."
He swings down at the front, and the animation clearly shows the rest of the turtles like scamper back where they came from on that
Yeah.
walkway.
Yeah.
And suddenly they're down there also fighting.
Right,
And I'm
right.
like,
It's like they had to change
okay.
a heart real quick.
Yes.
But they make short work of the gang, and then they hijack a ship and head for Central Command, the Central Command building. Inside the Central Command building, the turtles waste no time finding their friends who are being kept in a cage with some sort of pink glow around them and are being interrogated, quote unquote, by a Techno Gang member who's just got his hands on his hips, just saying, "Make yourselves easy, make this easy on yourselves, and talk."
That's saucy. That
Yeah.
dude, that's saucy. That's like, look, make it easier on yourself. Just talk. It's like 20 years in the future. We run shit.
Right.
That's basically
Exactly.
cachet on the hips. I'm a huge fan of that.
Oh, absolutely. I am too. This is one of my favorite things. Like I loved this so much. So anyway, again, yeah, they want to know where the turtles are. So Raph says right behind you. And then the animation shows Mikey strangling the gang member that's in or the interrogator, I should say. As Leo cuts what looks to be like the control panel to the cage, but then we see Donnie T in this weird animation pry open the cell with his staff.
Oh, that animation is so rough.
It's
like
really rough.
that those bars are made of like unobtainium.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
How, Donnie? So
How's
this
your
sequence
wood staff going to do it?
to me, this sequence can be described as turtles bypass buttons with weapons. Is what all of this is. Like everything that's here could be solved. Looks like with a button push.
Right.
Like they're in
Well-
a really secure facility, so it feels like there's not like a code. It feels like you just press the button and the thing opens. But
Well,
like they're
and
like,
the- and
no,
the-
hit it. No, hit it with my staff.
Right.
Stab it.
Well, like the actual thing that Leo cuts open has 3 buttons on it, so
Correct.
the code can't be that difficult to crack if you just had to put it in. But also on
Yeah.
further inspection of this animation cell or screen cap I got, it looks like Mikey's not actually strangling the interrogator. He's doing some sort of Vulcan death grip or something on him. It
There's
looks
something
like
special going on. I imagine that like
Something
Techno Gang
special.
handle.
Do what
I
now?
imagine they're so nasty to touch.
Oh,
like,
like
what
they're
you're probably-
slimy.
Like, look at the look on Mikey's face here.
Oh yeah,
like,
he's not happy.
I feel like he's like, I gotta get him down, but oh, his neck, oh god, like she tried to choke him out. He's like, oh god, it's all fishy. Like, I mean, dude, that's a gigantic roach. That's a whole like Far Side joke of like the roach that's taller than the husband, and the wife's like, just smash him,
Right.
and the guy's like, oh god, like how do you smash something that big, right? We were
Yeah.
talking about that. Like, this is like apprehending a U-sized roach person. That would be nasty. Meanwhile, Leo's like approaching the buttons that look like it's on a wooden plank, which it was like it's like
Oh,
they're,
yeah.
like on a wooden base, which is weird.
It's super
Those
weird.
buttons probably stand for dead ass open close lock. I mean, like hit it with a sword. You know, it's the whole situation. But you know, I don't blame him. Like between Mikey trying to handle this gross dude and Leo's gonna solve it with the sword. We know that he likes to cut like doors open just because. So
That's true.
Let it go.
So and then Raph ends up stabbing that same console apparently, and that causes the pink force field or whatever it is to dissipate. And let's see here. This releases our future friends from their pink energy field, and then Merrick seems surprised that they are all rebels. Like they're just super excited. Like the
So you're all
people,
rebels just like us. I'm like, we're older than you.
and
I
you
don't-
knew about what we did in the past. That's
Yeah.
why you came to.
Yeah.
So why are you surprised about this?
I thought the statement would be like, oh man, like you're awesome. Like we aspire to be like you. They almost like I imagine they almost be like fanboys. Like they, you know what I mean? They be kind of like, oh my god, we got rescued by the turtles. Oh, this is crazy. You know what I mean? I figured that'd be the mentality a little bit.
Right. That I thought so too, but like, yeah, no, that's not the case. That's not the case, Mom.
No.
So, Raph, in his cool but rude fashion, says, "We just need your time doohickey thing. So, save all the the fanfare or whatever they're geeking out about or being weird about. Just save it. We need your time doohickey thing." Landor says that they took it to the lab for analysis. Landor leads them to a door that he knows the login information to get inside, and warns the turtles that Dreg's lead enforcer is behind these doors, Ryan. And he rules with an iron fist. Turns out it's Carter.
Oh
With a
gosh,
pon-
Carter.
with a ponytail and some new digs.
Yeah, and like some weird like kind of sun and moon flowery iconography of his break.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest. I didn't see the Carter thing coming in real life. I didn't.
really.
Because for whatever reason, I kept thinking like the Carter thing was gonna be down the line. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
okay.
Like not.
Right.
I thought they'd Carter like in combat somewhere. Like when they were trying to get out, he would like appear.
Mm.
I thought it was gonna be high tech. I really did. I
Interesting.
thought like well, it makes sense because this is he's basically the governor of the planet, and I was like, oh, that sounds like a high tech job. But I forgot that since he integrated Carter into the mix, that means that would promote high tech. Like high tech would definitely be over Carter and would probably be like his like commander on campaign as he's out there
Right.
taking over. I'm just getting
Yeah.
my own head lord when I work on the fanfic for this that is set. But it caught me off guard.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. I think I had, since I was doing the screenshots and stuff, since I somehow that reinforced the title, and so when Landor says Dreg's enforcer, I'm like, oh, Carter the enforcer.
No, And I bragged so much about that title screen. I bragged so much about that Carter the Enforcer, written by David West. Like I bragged, and I didn't even think of that.
Right. So yeah, but like it's still handled pretty well. Like I mean, kids probably wouldn't have got it either. Like watching it back in the day. Like so, but
this is like overthinking it. This is like if you're not overthinking it, you go, oh, it's probably Carter.
oh,
But if you're
absolutely.
thinking, no, like so we get nerdy about like so a governor of the planet, that'd be high tech, because I don't see where he trusts that to anybody but high tech. But then again, and then it's like it's Carter. You're like, oh my god, I'm shocked too.
Right.
Right, because Carter is on the team, so Carter would be the governor of Earth, and then high tech would be his commander in the field.
Right.
Okay, and you start writing your headcanon again.
So Carter, 20 years from now, got some new clothes, pops his collar, and has a ponytail.
Yes.
So the turtles are like, surprise, and Carter's like, nah, you obviously used the time device to escape me 20 years ago when I thought I destroyed you all. Carter says he'll correct the mistake now and pulls out a gun.
Yes.
And so he well, hold on. I think he like
Not yet.
He doesn't
throws
pull
a
the
couple
gun yet.
turtles through walls first. Just
Yeah.
to show that off.
He throws, I think it's Raphael. It's either Rafi or Mike. Through a wall again. Actually, I wrote down in my notes. It's Mikey. Being thrown through a wall, and again a trope from this season. Their wall budget was like insane.
Yeah,
so then that's when they realized that Carter's like been working out or something weird's going on here.
Yeah.
This is when he pulls out a gun and
Yes.
he starts running, and there's this one screenshot I got where he looks super weird. Like, I'm showing it to you right now. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
And it's only funny. He kind of is reminiscent of like early 90s MJ, like Michael Jackson. And I bring that up because later, because I for those who haven't looked at any of the visuals that I post or anything like that, I use the screen cap or the closed captions, and because they provide a lot of humor. Specifically, this time, later on in this episode, one of the characters is stuttering, and they say he, and then they say a sentence about Carter.
So it's a he. Okay, I get it.
And it
That's
says
clever.
he did something, and I'm like,
That's
oh, because
clever.
he looked like Michael Jackson. They called him he.
That's clever.
It was
That's clever.
killing me when I watched this when I was
okay.
doing my notes. Anyway, thank you for indulging
man.
me and coming to my TED Talk. So yeah, Carter's just got this big gun that just looks like a giant bottle of water, and
It does.
he's hunting him down. The turtles again find an air shaft, which is massive. Like, just it's just so big. You could fit like 8 people in it, full grown humans. And so they're running away with Merrick and Landor.
Yep.
And so they decide to jump down into the air shaft. At this point, Carter walks by and realizes what's going on, and he calls for all units to find the deviants and bring them to him. And so one thing that I think we probably skipped over in your part was that Raphael has been like hammering down the idea about what were you gonna say?
I missed that a little bit on the notes. Yeah. So that I mentioned it briefly in the idea that like one theme of this episode was kind of like the questioning like of like humanity's like worthiness to be saved or like whatever. And this is mainly coming from Raph's stuck on this. Raph's on this like, but they're probably not even worth it.
Yeah, he's on this tirade about like, is the human race even worth our trouble? Like he's definitely drawing a divide between them and the turtles or and humans. So yeah, he talks about how Carter betrayed them and how April was the only human in their time that helped them fight Dreg. And so he asked where Merrick and Landor were 20 years ago, and they say that they were just children and couldn't do anything, but when they got older, they used a time machine to save them and help them fight. Leo then inquires from Merrick what happened in their timeline. She says that Carter destroyed them, and Dreg launched the Star Shield. Mikey asks what we're all thinking, which is, why is their world still Grim City when they ended up saving them? Like, if they are in the future and they go back to save. Yeah,
This is the
paradox.
explanation of the paradox. Yeah.
Yeah. So Landor says that because they aren't there to fight Dreg, which makes sense because either way, destroyed or displaced in time, the turtles weren't there to fight Dreg at the moment. They talk about getting the time device back, and Donnie T proffers a hypothesis that Carter isn't actually Carter. Donnie says that Carter shouldn't be strong enough to toss turtles through walls in his human form. Merrick and Landor are completely blown out by this information that he had any other form, and the turtles explain the fact that Carter has never mutated tells Donnie that this enforcer isn't Carter. And just then, Carter the enforcer shows up a-blastin'. He swings his gun, sending the turtles flying, and they immediately have a group mutation.
While two watch.
Right. Yeah, that's not all turtles. It's just the two. It's just Donnie T and Raffi. And so Donnie T runs up and grabs Carter's shirt, rips a hole in it, revealing circuitry, and just as he thought, Android knew it, then punches Android Enforcer Carter in the chest.
Yep.
This causes Carter to explode. The turtles demutate, and they pick up the time device to go back to the real Carter. They get attacked by the Techno Gang, but still manage to go back in time. Landor and Merrick decline the turtles. They still manage to do it, but before they do, they ask Landor and Merrick to go back with them, but they decline, and they step into the beam, and we see them send the turtles back. And then this is very subtle, and they didn't have to do this. They could have skipped over this. The whole time this is happening, the Techno Gang is chasing them, too. It's another scene. They're up against a wall. They use the time machine, and they leave Merrick and Landor behind. And the camera shows them both holding hands. And as a kid, you're probably not going to get the subtext here, but they died holding hands. Like they were, they were shot. And that's beautiful. That's like, I wasn't expecting it from this episode.
That's dark for Turtles here.
It is.
That's dark for. I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
I am absolutely 100% a fan about this. So,
that's what I am.
Did you say guess what you are?
That's what I am.
What are you?
Really? I'm a fan. Come on.
Sorry, I missed that. I didn't realize. I didn't catch that. Are you a big metal fan?
Shut up.
God, this is the worst episode ever. So
episode ever. Yeah.
So
probably.
So anyway, back in the present, Ryan. Dreg is in a ship flying above the city. He's talking to Carter the Enforcer, who informs Dreg of the turtles' apparent demise. Dreg says he has no need of his original form, who is unconscious and bound to a bed of sorts, and tells the Techno Gang to take him to the airlock and jettison him into space. Original Carter wakes up while he's being dragged by his arms unrestrained to the airlock, presumably. He smashes his guards' heads together and just runs away, asking all the questions. He finds himself in front of one of those Blackbird ships we were talking about earlier, and then finds a keyboard and starts typing away, saying that the guys are going to love him for this. Now, cut to our favorite area scene in this show, like this season, April's apartment, the computer central room, whatever you want to call it.
In April's apartment.
Yes.
I just lay on the couch, search on the old internet for someone's first name. There's no last names. It's like, has there ever been anyone named Merrick?
Yeah. Let me look into all of them.
So the Landor. Rare.
And then the paperclip comes up and asks, "Did you mean landlord?" And she has to keep saying no. No. Over and over and over again.
No, that's exactly what that would be.
She discovers the county records that both of them live here in the city, but is taken way aback, and that's impossible. some information that she discovers. But we have to wait for that as we cut back to the turtles arriving from the future. The turtles arrive in a hangar and they run out in hopes of stopping the Star Shield, but are halted by the arrival of one of Dreg's Blackbird ships. Carter pops out and the turtles are like, "Which one are you?" He just asked, "Hey, what's up?" And you know what, Ryan? That's enough for the turtles to know that he's the real deal.
It is you.
So he then proceeds to hand Donnie T the plans for the Star Shield, which presumably is what he was typing into that ship to get from the ship. Raphael chastises Carter then for causing so much trouble, and then they explain the situation. Then the robot Carter appears. Carter jump kicks Robo Carter, and Robo Carter just grabs his foot and throws him away. Then Real Carter gets super pissed, like just so mad, and gets like just he then tackles. Am I reading this right? Yeah. So Real Carter gets really mad and then tackles and does some more kicks and punches, and this puny human who has very minimal Foot Clan training easily defeats this robot who is the bane of the future of humanity, like he's a freaking Super Mario boss with just 3 hits.
Enforcer governor of Earth.
Right. All it takes is 3 hits from one human.
Now,
unmutated.
Granted, I'll defend this. I'll go to the writer's shed to defend this one.
Okay.
In Twitter, Carter not only did Drake made improvements on him. This is Mark 1. This is like a T800. Like, this is not the version that they fought 20 years in the future for sure. Because he's not the same size. He's smaller, and he's kind of a Carter clone.
You're right, and he doesn't have a ponytail, and I think that could be a big factor in the fight. Anytime you fight someone with a ponytail, it changes everything. All right, so where are we at? All right, so Robo Carter explodes. Mikey says that's the second time today that dude's been trashed. And Raphael says what we're all thinking, that somehow I never get tired of seeing it. They congratulate Carter and say that future generations will thank him for killing himself. Then we see the Star Shield rise out of the hangar. They pursue in that ship that the human Carter arrived in. Of course, the plans for the Star Shield indicate that there is a weak spot, and one good shot should destroy it. Leo tries to shoot it but misses, so they try again and again and again. Leo blames it on Carter's driving, but Raphael then takes the stick and says this one's for Merrick, not Landor, because piss on Landor, but for Merrick. Like, seriously, like
Merrick, hey man, too soon. Landor, not too soon. Just rest in piss.
Yeah, just rest in piss. So
I think we have an episode title, guys.
Oh, we so he gets a direct hit, causing the massive ship to fall into what looks like a farm, like some farmland, and we see the Techno Gang bailing as it does. Sure. The turtles land their ship and get a call from April, who says she found Landor and Merrick. The turtles absolutely do not believe her and are like, what? Just like everyone else in this episode, they don't believe her.
Nope. Oh,
and
true.
She says just head to the park and she'll explain. So they arrive through the sewers, and she points to the 2 kids in the sandbox and says that they are Landor and Merrick. The guys then talk about,
Say it, Eric.
Say what?
What's everyone think when they pop out of the manhole? What's the first thing that they shout when they see Landor and Merrick? You know what it is.
I don't know. I'm at a loss.
They're babies.
Oh my god! I didn't.
Come on now. That? That's like right down. That was on a T.
That was. I'm sorry. I'm on the like the home stretch here. So like, yeah, no,
I got you.
Yeah, but no. I'm 100% giving that to you. That was fantastic, and I'm sorry I let you down. And I'll tender my resignation once we finish the episode. So
I'll just keep it in the top drawer of my desk. That's what you do when you get a resignation from someone.
Mm-hmm.
Do not accept it and get them out of there.
Yeah, no.
You slide it in the top drawer of the desk and you manipulate the hell out of that person
Right.
forever.
So yeah, so they see that they're in the sandbox, and they are babies indeed. So and this inspires them that they got to keep up the fight. They got to keep doing stuff for the kids.
I kind of like that.
I do too. The fact that they're so like perplexed by this idea that they couldn't put that math together and figure that out, I'm a little bit like, really, guys? Like, Donnie, you do machines.
Everybody acts real surprised when they're like, "But they're babies." And
Right.
like, "I told you they're babies." Blew my mind too. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe on the page, like when he wrote it, it kind of came across more like seeing them as children was mind blowing. Just seeing it, like
I guess
they would be
that makes
1995,
sense.
but you know what I mean. But like seeing it,
right.
the way they play it the way it plays on screen is like no one figured it out until they all saw it.
Right. So the turtles are like, this is where it comes back to the turtles asking Raph, so still think humanity's not worth saving because you saw some kids playing in a sandbox that we just left to die in the future after they saved us? And like Raph's just like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. And he doesn't, he's like, whatever. He gives them a pithy answer. They head back presumably to the lair. Carter and Raph go back and forth about how they mistook the android for him and just bicker the whole time. And Carter just says, they end by Raph saying that, yeah, one Carter is enough, and that's all we need. Like, we don't need any other Carters. That's it. Because you're garbage, essentially, is what he's saying. And then there you go. That is Carter the Enforcer.
That's it.
Woo! So, yeah, that was a long episode.
It was.
So I think overall, we did enjoy it, though. I think it was pretty neat. There was some good stuff in it.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reviewing my half. I enjoyed watching the other half. I liked it. It did a lot. It did a lot in that same 22-minute of glory. It did a lot. We did Days of Future Past. We did a little bit of Terminator. You know what I'm saying? Little Terminator 2. We did a little of that.
Yeah.
Do it for the kids in the playground, the iconography. Like, I don't know. Like, it hit on a lot of my favorite time travel kind of sci-fi action movie things. And I don't know. I mean, yeah, like it really drilled into that. Like, no one believes us. Everyone thinks we're the villain. It's not conquerable. And they end this episode, and I'll say this before I butt out here, like they end it on like, but we have to keep fighting. They actually take Splinter's lesson from before, which Raph was like, yeah, but are they worth saving? Right. That was the big. And they wrap it around, and the episode doesn't end on we beat Dreg, we beat it. It's literally, it ends on like, we do have to keep fighting. We haven't won. We just forestalled it, but we have to keep fighting. That's good. That's really good.
It is.
I like that.
And the thing that I love about it is that it shows you that like standing up for what's right, walking straight, no need to mutate, except they do mutate.
Yeah.
Right. But and counting on the turtles, because that's what they told us.
That is what they told us.
It pays off in the end. So doing the right thing and standing up for what you believe and what is right, and for other people that can't fight for themselves, like the turtles do. They don't cut that kind of people who bully and all this other stuff. They don't cut them into slack.
Zero slack.
So, but what that does is in the present, you might not realize that it seems dire and it seems like no one's listening, but the future's listening, and the future's going to fight for what you are planting the seeds for. And that's something that this show would not tell you on the surface, but like when you look at it in that perspective, the turtles are like, oh, we have to keep fighting because these kids believe in us in the future, and that's gonna make all the difference. And it's a hard pill to swallow, but it's there.
I like it.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
This season started out a little rough.
Mm-hmm.
Carter's a little annoying. Got a little mad at Carter sometimes. I didn't like, when Savage Dragon Big Bird came out in full force, when the turtles were group mute, like when that, I was like, oh God, they all look like Toka. Oh God, but I gotta say, like, the world building and stuff is hot fire. Like that's what's up. That's what this thing should have been the whole time.
Absolutely.
I kind of shudder to think, like, if they had taken this approach from the start, like 10 years of building on this, how this show would have been.
Yeah.
It would have been like a different continuity adventures almost.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like building up the storylines, like Howie, Rex One, we don't throw them away. We keep them.
Yeah.
But I'm loving it right now. It's a great to me, it's a cool kind of like modern kind of redemption of this animated series. So I'm here for it.
Oh, absolutely. So, and guys, if you're still here for it, let us know.
Right?
What did you think? Did you like this episode? Did you think it was too heavy-handed with all the political talk or the sheeple talk? What did you think? Let us know. You can do that by going to your email of choice. That's the word I meant to say.
That's the word.
And you can email us at turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. You could also go and find us on the home of the internet, turtlesoupshow.com, where all our episodes are at, and links to all our other stuff. You can also find us on Instagram, Turtle Soup Show with the underscores between each word. Let's see, what else? You can also join the Facebook group. Tons of Turtletarians are there. Correspondents are there. Lots of good people. When news breaks, that's usually a good place. So if you're looking for Turtles news, like that's a good place to come and find it. And lots of good people talking and hanging out. It's a great place, and it's one of the only reasons to go to Facebook anymore. So there's that. And if you want to help us out and go full force, like the extra mile, you can go to your podcast of choice, whatever you're listening to us on. Rate, review, subscribe. Sincerely appreciate it. 5 stars, we'd like it a lot. If you wanted to leave us a 1 star, we'd prefer you write us an email and tell us like why you'd want to do that, and then we might come up with some stuff to maybe sway you to not do that. But your style, freestyle your style, whatever you want to do. But we really appreciate everyone who's done that. Also, another step, you want to go even further, go to YouTube, subscribe, because technically right now we are live on YouTube, but we're in a test capacity, so this has been a fun experiment of sorts. And thank you to everyone who was joining us tonight and has helped us and left us comments and stuff like that. We really appreciate you, and we're hoping the next couple episodes we're going to be able to dial it in and it's going to be spot on, but we'll get there.
How about Turtle Soup, and make sure, like, on YouTube, really fast. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go for it.
A big one for YouTube. If you're not like, if everyone uses YouTube, but if you're not like I need to have YouTube do stuff for me because it needs to work for me. Check us out, subscribe, and then make sure you hit the notification bell icon. And you can choose to receive like all alerts. And I would usually do that because it'll like push to your phone when like the show goes live. So you could just be dicking around and be like, hey, look, Turtle Soup. Like, oh shit, true, it's on. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So there's that. And then if you want to go like gold standard, like full force, like all the way, go to patreon.com, find Turtle Soup's been making a podcast, and you can cast your monetary support to help maintain the podcast, keep us from saying clang, and join our family of patrons that have been keeping the show alive for quite a few years now. And it's all thanks to them that we keep going. They're the wind beneath our wings, the inspiration, the patron ranger. We got all kinds of pet names for our wonderful patrons.
It's awesome.
And there's all kinds of stuff there. Like we keep saying, there's going to be an update to Patreon coming up, and so a lot of cool things are going to be happening. Some stuff's going to move around. We're still working out the kinks and getting it all figured out, but we will make a video about it pretty soon. And but unfortunately, I do have some bad news about one of our tiers. We're gonna have to postpone our $300 a month tier. Like, for those of you who are doing the $300 a month, we're really sorry. Like, but I mean, I kind of understand it a little bit, but I kind of don't. I don't know. I'm trying to see the bright side, but I really don't, Ryan. I don't know. But one way or the other, our $300 a month tier reward of a box of 100 Turtle Soup podcast host faced ice creams, like the old Turtles ones. Remember those? Well, we found a company that could make them, but with our faces, but with the bandanas of the turtles. So like 25 of each.
Gumball eyes, whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it was going to attach to the bandana, like that would be attached to the stick that you could eat the ice cream. But like, apparently our heads are too big for the stick. And it's just been a mess. So I don't know. But they did tell us that they might could be able to work something out if they had like more if we had more orders for it, I guess is what they said. But it just doesn't seem like they could
I don't want to, like, honestly, at this point, I think we got to wear this one. I don't want to like blame the ice cream manufacturer for this one. Sorry, the frozen dessert manufacturer. I got to get my terminology right when we're dealing with that industry, and all the excellent people out there working on that. This is on us. We didn't think about our heads being too big. They tried to reach for the stars. It was our bad design, and we went with it, and we made it a Patreon reward, and got a lot of $300 secret $300 patrons. And then we did not know. We're not certain that those ice cream desserts would work out.
Right.
And look, we are. So
here we are.
We'll wear this one. If we get more interest in them, we could definitely do them. But yeah, Eric basically put it how it is. That's just how it is, and those aren't coming through.
Right. But if you are interested and you want to like make your voices known, they gave us an email. Now it's we might have to drop a link to it because it's very in depth. You don't want me to say it?
Drop it.
Okay. It's LL Cool L. You ready? LL Cool L.
Yes.
At Lily's luscious land of lickable lollies and lovely lavish long-lasting lamplights.biz. Yeah. There you go. That was the company we were going to go through to do it. And yeah, that's the email. So if you missed it, just play the episode back and you can try to figure it out from there.
And look, and like I said, I want to be very clear. We're not casting any aspersions on this company. I mean, we named the company, okay? We pulled the curtain back for you.
Yeah,
if you have any questions about it, get in there. I mean, we support these people.
We do. And this is not like a bad thing.
So please do not spam them at that LL Cool L. Don't like spam them and you know, like kill them over this. It's our fault, and they're working with us. So, like, guys, hold back.
But there's two ways. But you can be very respectful. But there's two ways that you could do it. You could either join the $300 tier on Patreon, and we get more orders in, or you could let them know that there is definitely an interest in this, that they could further their technology. But be very polite if you're so inclined to do that. And speaking of being polite, we very respectfully have to bow out of this episode. So, else time.
Else time. That was pretty good.
That was. Are we gonna stop the stream?
I mean, not before we say goodbye to the people that hung out with us this whole time.
Oh, okay. I thought we did. Okay.
We got a lot of really cool comments. That's really cool. So we'll be going back through this again, like I said, guys, and checking this out. Final Monkey on YouTube. I just wanted to say that was 10 L's. He asked how many L's. Sorry, they asked how many L's was that string.
I didn't even count.
It's 10.
Did you count all the L's in LL Cool? LL Cool
No, that'd be 13.
Yeah,
that'd be 13. I was thinking about just the domain name.
Oh,
like the domain name,
right?
Was 10 L's. Dude. The full thing is 13 L's, and like I said, don't spam them.
Yeah, don't spam them. But
it's a lovely email address. Don't do it.
Thank you. Goodness. Yeah, I was looking up. I was having to consult the thesaurus for some of that. I was like, I need something. John Klein just came back and goes, still going? It's like John went to bed, got up to like take a piss, and it goes like, these dudes. Dude, it's almost midnight. What's wrong with you? Right.
We're still on. We're not on for very much longer, though. Unfortunately, we are going to have to sign off because we're getting close to midnight EST. So this part, just to, once again, for you guys sticking around and stuff. So this part of the show, we would normally like name the episode and stuff like that. Maybe next time for the test, what we'll do maybe is like we could all name it together. Maybe like next time, like next week. Oh, by the way, I want to also tell you that. So next week, this time 8:00, episode 249 is going to be the same test. We're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So doing the pregame, hopefully a little bit more smoothly, not as like we don't know what's happening. And we're gonna blow through the pregame, do a tight episode of Turtle Soup, and then hang out with you guys afterwards and maybe name the episode. It'd be kind of fun. And obviously huge thank you to everybody who helped out before, who are still here. I'm Like, you have no idea how excited I am to do this and how cool it is to have you guys here helping. It's
Oh yeah,
like we've been working toward this for a long time, so I'm really excited.
indeed. Yes, I echo all those sentiments. So, all right. So we signing off.
Yeah, we're gonna sign off. We'll see you guys once again on the group or whatever. Hit us up on the email and stuff. We'll go over these comments, and I can't say goodbye to people because I'm having fun. But yeah, we will be back next week.
Well, you don't say goodbye. Just say good journey.
Say so long.